kind of game. But yeah, usually the third strategist usually is something like an off strategist slash duelist kind of player. Like you've got one player on an Adam Warlock who has spiked a ton in popularity, at least in season 4.0. And also the Ultron, who has also been a solid pickup if the Adam Warlock is either banned out or not as prioritized. But then again, we have yet to see how these teams play it out because we are headed in to map number 1. It's going to be on Hell's Heaven, the first ever map of the playoffs.
Yeah, this does promote a lot of aggression. Domination's usually the way we like to warm up when it comes to commentating this. But immediately, Zero Tenacity, they want to go with a one-sided Mantis. Ban Mantis, reserve Mantis. They know the value of Mantis. I mean, they've bought into the Mantis stoinks ever since 3.5. And they're pretty much just going to keep running the same type of picks and bans. Probably ban out Ultron, since you did point out either Torch or Ultron has been used by Crazy Raccoons. However, a one-sided Jeff on Crazy Raccoon's side, banning out the Ultron, but reserving the Jeff.
Yeah, they take the Jeff for himself. A strong pickup in domination maps in particular. Not only that, you've also got a little bit of a healing assistance coming in from Jeff's ultimate now that Season 4.0 has kicked in. And again, Jeff also being a very popular pickup. Both teams, it's already filled up with strategists so far. Can we make it towards the end like that? Because I know in 3.5 we saw some Vanguard bans, but now these strategists are going to be a problem. But I do really like the Adam Warlock ban coming in from Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah, and Zero Tenacity, interesting enough, in banning out the Invisible Woman, and we got to reserve some strategists here, having the Cloak and Dagger being one of the main anchor strategists for Crazy Raccoons. Good pickup, because Zero Tenacity was technically attacking any other strategist that can be that anchor. So they still have, they can ban out an Emma. They can also ban out a Magneto if you want to be able to take out that end song. But no, there's one more strategist on the table, and it's Ultron. They're taking that.
Oh, yeah, they needed to take away that Ultron. NX is the one usually piloting on Crazy Raccoon, and he is very, very, very good on that Ultron, especially since how strong of a pick it is now. Zero Tenacity don't want to deal with it. They take it away, and we'll just move on in this draft. But now begs the question: do Crazy Raccoon want to take away the Magneto? Because Cloak and Dagger is also a very good strategist with a very good Eternal Bond, and if you get that meteor down, obviously it shuts it down. So
yeah,
do Crazy Raccoon decide to go for it?
We'll just have to find out and see, because taking out the Magneto, no, the Namor wants to take out the Gamma Squid, since we're still playing that. Again, the new season, it's hella and Namor, guys, but we're still playing with Gamma Squids, and they get rid of that. But I'd say Zero Tenacity did an amazing job, because if you look at it, you took out most of the off duelists on the side. Look, you take out the Mantis, the Luna, and the Ultron, but Crazy Raccoons can run that Warlock tandem.
Oh, here we go. NX is hovering that Star-Lord right now. I am so excited to see that.
True. Same.
But anyway, yeah.
How many MVPs? I believe 4 MVPs in the span of like 3 days.
He's got so many. He's gotten so many. But either way, yeah. Back to Zero Tenacity. They did lock in the Hulk, which was... I'm not sure if that was the correct play, because then you just let Crazy Raccoon to just take away the Namor. Like I
think maybe it was more of a fake out. Yeah, maybe a fake out. Yeah, big brains if ever, because now they can run that Magneto. It wasn't like banned out by Crazy Raccoon, so could be that just for them to just threaten. Because Crazy Raccoon's not necessarily known for dive.
Yeah, this is no, you are right. Yeah, banning away the Namor does allow the Magneto to be picked up, because you just kind of pinned Crazy Raccoon in that. But either way, we gotta get to the action. We gotta get to the action. Here we go. First map of the first match of Asia Ignite playoffs. Here we go.
Yeah, Ripasuko with that Venom. Unfortunately, they don't have the tandem with Jeff, but Crazy Raccoons do have some synergies going on, especially with that. But NX immediately diving in. Be very careful. You don't have that bubble going on. but Venom also dives along with him. Jerry getting the first pick off of Lastro. So a 6v5 on Zero Tenacity's side, and they continue to rack it up. A trade-off, but Crazy Raccoon slowly losing Vanguards here.
They got so close to taking the site, but they do. It goes to Crazy Raccoon's side. JT3 uses the rocket jump, but Jerry's able to track him down. But NX trying to do some sort of damage, but this realizing that he doesn't really have many members to rely on, so he will back away with his team. And this discipline from NX is just very, very good. I've seen most Star Wars players up in the highest level going in for the AoE damage and just getting taken out, but NX definitely playing the waiting game, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, but it looks like Asuko sees that the moment is now, but he's going to get dangerously low, but does have a second health bar to back himself up.
I mean, you talked about discipline both on NX and Ripasuko there. They know, all right, too hot, let's get out of here. Let's fight together and try to go for it, but nice bubble on the side of the Magneto to get rid of the JT3. But now we do see some ultimates being spent on both sides. Galactic Legend is going to face the dance floor of Wendy, and now the end song to try and threaten any defensive ults coming out here. He's waiting for as much as he can, but he's able to actually land and clear up some space here and still hold. We do have It's Jeff as well, but we have a dunk to try and combo it together and gets a lot of value here. Takes out 2 of the Crazy Raccoons, make that 3. Sort of a team wipe here. Zero Tenacity holds strong, Dan.
Yeah, Zero Tenacity with a great fight, great trays of ultimates being used, but Crazy Raccoon still have to back himself up. Asuko getting caught out. Hyan is threatening the Karmic Revival, but didn't opt to use it. JT3 too also has the Silent Seduction as Blastro getting picked off and staggered.
Wow, so now Zero Tenacity kind of on the back foot here at the start of this first map. So not choosing to go for a Strange just yet. We're slowly climbing up to the 90% mark. We're still keeping the attention on Ripasuko here on the Venom, but he's dangerously low. He could still pop that shield, but he's going to need to be healed quick as we approach the final seconds of this domination. If Zero Tenacity can hold it, it is going to be their first map to win.
Yep, and Crazy Raccoon are going to get early control, but Hyan is caught by XZ, who just takes him out, as here comes the rest of Zero Tenacity trying to deny Crazy Raccoon from using any sort of ultimate. Hyan does have the Karmic Revival, needs to use it if he wants his Crazy Raccoon to stay in this fight. But Jerry, again, threatening with the Endsong Inferno, able to find a jump onto the backline of Crazy Raccoon. Here is the Karmic Revival coming in, but is it in time? It doesn't look like it is. Crazy Raccoon are not able, actually, to get the resurrections down, and Crazy Raccoon might just save the ultimates unless there is a fighting chance, but it looks like Crazy Raccoon might just crumble here in round number 1.
Man, they gave Crazy Raccoons an inch and took a mile out of that. Sure, they gave up the play area, but Eggsy onto this Psylocke. Again, Psylocke did get a little bit nerfed, but man, the way they were able to clean up, the pickoffs were so good, the staggers as well, and Zero Tenacity checkmates them in Eldritch Monument here at Hell's Haven. So I wonder what switch-ups Crazy Raccoons are going to do, because they were disciplined, but it just seems like the team fights, the 1v1s were on Zero Tenacity's side. Maybe the 2-2-2 is really working out for them for now.
Yeah, so far it's looking good for Zero Tenacity. Crazy Raccoon, they, I guess, conceded that they knew this fight was over. They just saved all their ultimates, but
Get ready.
I say that, and look at Zero Tenacity. They've got 3 of them for themselves. Feast available on No Smite. Invisible Boundary available on Dotari. Wendy also threatening with the Fate of Both Worlds. So Crazy Raccoon really need to go for a crazy burst, some crazy plays. I'm looking at Losker right now. He is probably the difference maker in terms of this tempo in round number 2.
Definitely. I mean, a good It's Jeff, aside from just holding point onto the pool, alongside gets the swallow, could be a difference maker. But let's see how aggressive Crazy Raccoons are going to be, because they did show some exemplary discipline, but Zero Tenacity allowed them to, this allowed them to kind of control that second team fight. And now No Smite on the Venom is just waiting for the right opportunity to dive into the back lines. Feast of the Abyss is ready, doesn't go for it just yet, but they're setting up for a big play while Kadia is providing a lot of support. And note that Crazy Raccoons are, I just realized it now, they have a lot of checks they can catch, and it's going to be JT3 to start things out.
Yeah, here we go. Psyonic Seduction is going to prove to be valuable. They take out Kaidia, but can they take out more? There is a domino effect of ultimates, and this is the ultimate we were talking about. Can Lostro find a pick? It looks like he's just going to use it to reposition, unless it's something else, as NX has the Galactic Legend going legendary, but he can't find the targets he needs.
Hey, but they're able to create that space here, and we still continue on to try and hunt them down. No Smite still around the area. Jerry providing so much support as Phoenix, just peppering in some damage here as Crazy Raccoons reap the rewards, climbing slowly at the 20% mark. But now it's kind of Zero Tenacity's time to spend some checks, which they're going to start things off with the invisible boundary. Eggsy, though, finds his mark, taking out JT3.
We go Hyon and Sunghun both in tandem using their strategist ultimates. Jerry trying to go for the dive, but can he find the value? Here we go. There's the dance of the butterfly, and they just absolutely blend the backline, but it's only Hyon going down. Does have the cocoon and will use it, but Sunghun is going to get taken away as the rest of Zero Tenacity look to take over. But Crazy Raccoon, they still have control of the site. They're still stacking up the percentage points, and that's really all that matters as Jeff finds 2. And it's an even trade overall, but it's going to be a win for Crazy Raccoon with this control still in their grasp.
Yeah, they're not letting go. They know that Zero Tenacity has that team fight potential with this 2-2-2, so they just need to just be very vigilant in holding point here. And I think JT3 making the difference with that first Psionic Seduction to start out the first team fight, then it kind of snowballed. When it comes to resources, though, Zero Tenacity is leading with a Fate of Both Worlds, but we saw Lastro spend its Jeff really fast, so he can build it up so good as well. So they are going to try to contest the point now.
Oh my gosh, Lostro was able to find a way behind them, and that's going to cause a lot of disruption on Zero Tenacity with Osco being part of that nuisance. It's going to be a 1v1 here between NX and XZ, but he's not going to be able to find much as Kaidia is able to just bypass the Psionic Seduction, and JT3 gets taken away as Zero Tenacity finally, they realize it's their time to strike as X wastes the Galactic Legend, and Zero Tenacity finally showing some signs of life here in round number 2, and they will take over the site.
That was a very expensive ult trade by Crazy Raccoons. Unfortunate trade by NX using the Galactic Legend. Now it's switching on over to Phoenix for a more poke-heavy, less dive. So now he kind of has to build that up. But Zero Tenacity still holds strong. They can end it here and now if they're able to still hold well with this 2-2-2 composition. And they got 4 checks to cash, Dan. So this next team fight, Crazy Raccoons have to be very careful. Goes for another. It's Jeff. Gets the smaller one too. But no, able to actually take them out.
He uses the healing pool to keep himself alive, and he's able to throw both of them away, but it looks like Wendy was able to jump back in. Both members were able to come back into the fight as Dotori is able to use the invisible boundary, pushes away JT3, and now it's going to be a man advantage in favor of Crazy Raccoon, but the Karmic Revival will equalize things as Osco finds Jerry and Dotori as well. And now Crazy Raccoon looking to take control, looking to grasp this second round and force a deciding round number 3. They just have to take control and let that timer run out. And X doing what he can to do as much damage as possible. No ultimates available on Zero Tenacity either, so there is no chance, no way for them to get back onto the site. And Crazy Raccoon answer back
in emphatic fashion at that. Crazy Raccoons looked like it was slipping away a little bit, but when they were able to get that Jeff swallow and the reposition, that was really one of the keys to victory here for them to win Super Soldier Factory. But Zero Tenacity still holding strong with this 2-2-2 lineup, so I think they gotta respond to NX's switch up and also JT3 onto this Emma Frost. So now begs the question, how Zero Tenacity is going to change things up. Are they going to really go with Kaidia switching up to our Angela over here?
Oh, yeah. Looks like it's going to be the Angela pick for Zero Tenacity. It's going to be interesting to see, because in this specific map, like this specific round, there isn't really opportunities to shove away. Yeah, Kaidia realizes that there's no place to like use the kidnap and just send someone into the abyss. So Kaidia will just go right back to the Magneto, And so far, we're seeing Crazy Raccoon being tested. Round number 1, who you could say was a little bit of a slip-up, but now it looks like Crazy Raccoon do have some momentum in them as they look to converge here on the 3rd point.
Yeah, so now they really have to deal with the triple strategist that Crazy Raccoons bring to the table. No more Star-Lord, but an End-Song Inferno that is potentially building up on NX's side. Eggsy already has the Dance of the Butterflies, while Lastro has another Jaws moment here if he can actually capture 2. So first battle is going to be very intense. Eggsy waiting for the right opportunity to dance with those butterflies. And there he goes for the dance with them.
Great dive.
Oh, goes for actually 2 strategists. Lastro's the only one left, gets a swallow, but Jerry is able to save, so it's not going to be a shark week here for you, sir.
No, sir, indeed. Hyan was able to find XC towards the tail end of this fight, but it's all Zero Tenacity here in the early stages here as the rest of Crazy Raccoon look to reset. But a great dive coming in from Zero Tenacity. No Smite and XC teaming up with the Dance of the Butterfly, top it off with a Venom dive from No Smite. And just that quick little combo was enough for Zero Tenacity to take early control as they do look to stack up that percentage.
They do. They have a Meteor M. They also have an Eternal Bond along with a Karmic Revival on Hyan's side. So I like how they're pushing close away from the mission area just so they have to spend their cooldown just for them to make this approach happen. But Zero Tenacity slowly building up all their ultimates here. And it started out now with Ripasuko with the Psionic Seduction, but they do go for 3 defensive ults, but No Smite getting lost in the fray here. Dottori with Invisible Boundary to hold point just a little longer, but now we see NX slowly trying to chip away and forcing the dance floor to ignite here as Crazy Raccoons still hold on to their ultimates and still hold on to this team fight, but now the Dong
doesn't quite land the mark, but NX is in the thick of it, just meleeing away, stacking up the passive, and is just able to rip apart the rest of Zero Tenacity. But here comes the Dance of the Butterfly from XC, but it's not going to do a whole lot. No value here this time around. Lastro is able to help out his fellow strategist of Hyan as they look to clap back here.
Man, the ebbs and flows of this match. Zero Tenacity trying to save it all for that team fight. Crazy Raccoons ending up on top, and Eggsy also spending that Dance of the Butterflies defensively, but they were just going for a patty cake situation with the Crazy Raccoons. But now Jerry slowly trying to build up those flame stacks, while Eggsy, you see, is trying to create a flank situation here. We have an end song on the side of Jerry, but that's about it. Zero Tenacity can't force anything too crazy because they don't have any defense ultimates to work with them.
Oh my god, Lastro is able to find Eggsy, catches him off guard. And now Zero Tenacity, the only way they can really get back into this fight was with Dottori with the Invisible Boundary, but right now Zero Tenacity have no space to go in as Crazy Raccoon make it to halfway.
Yeah, this is going to be real tough already. Already at 50% on both sides. No Smite trying to overextend here quite low. Can't afford to spend his cooldown just yet. NX, we see, is frozen, but they are so good at just rotating and monitoring where everyone is going to be at. So far, they got to march their way down. No Smite tries to lead the charge here.
Oh my gosh, NX!
Oh my god, gets taken out by NX.
Oh my god, NX! How do you land these shots? Everyone on Zero Tenacity have no idea where he's hitting from. And the rest of Crazy Raccoon will be able to capitalize using minimal ultimates. They only use the end song.
And now we see that the switch up Eggsy onto the Goddess of Death. We do have Kadia going with the Captain America. No, it's No Smite now with the Doctor Strange, but NX is actually fighting his way here, so now there's no chance. Kadia's trying to run his way as Captain. He's not gonna allow it.
Oh my goodness, Crazy Raccoon just out of literally nowhere just put their foot on the gas and they don't stop. That momentum from that second round translates into the third. And with NX, this is what we want to see. This is the NX we all know and love, and he yet again gets another MVP.
good 2 pickoffs on his side, but it's not just him. Lastro did really well also monitoring the final rounds of any flanks from Eggsy, because Eggsy was able to initiate a lot of good team fights with his Dance of the Butterflies, with his Psylocke. Jerry also did a lot of good pickoffs from Zero Tenacity, but man, Crazy Raccoons faced a little adversity from the start, but it's really the 3 strat meta that worked out very well. They had so much sustains. Zero Tenacity, unfortunately, had to kind of stick to the 2-2-2, but they didn't have that much lastability, especially when it came to the ultimate trade-offs. We saw how the Dance of the Butterflies was countered by Jeff and Cloak and Dagger just playing patty cake with each other, and it didn't really mean anything. So I wonder how Zero Tenacity is going to adjust to this, but Crazy Raccoons served their first map loss, but they still win this entire map, at least, or this entire game.
Yeah, they're still perfect. The perfect run is still alive. So that's really one of the big storylines to look out for. But yeah, either way, this is a great showing for Crazy Raccoon, but this is a best of 5, so
yeah,
it's not really much of a best of 3 sprint. Now we're moving in towards like the half marathon in a sense.
That is true. That is true. I wonder how Zero Tenacity is going to change things up. Will they still persist on the 2-2-2? Since they're triple strategists, you can't really go dive. You can kind of go brawl. I think maybe there were some opportunities that they could have went with the Emma Frost and the Magneto with the Psylocke, so that they're able to actually use that synergy. They had Jeff taken out, so they couldn't go with the Venom and Jeff synergy that we saw so well by Crazy Raccoon. So a lot still up in the air for Zero Tenacity, but hey, they're the comeback kings. They were able to get that victory over a reject, so maybe a best of 5 is going to wake them up to that.
Yeah, we'll see though. But for now, Zero Tenacity do need to look to find a way back into this series. They're only down 1 map, and we still have a best of 5 to make our way through. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll see if Zero Tenacity do find the answer when we come back.
이루어지는 마법인 거야. 운명의 소리 들려 여기서 저기서 날 찾으면 달빛이 날 비춰와. 시작해야 let's go. 아득고 흘러는 우주 따뜻한 눈으로 감싸는 순간 신비롭게 녹아내릴 거야. 좀 더 기다려 I'll be there. 쓰러지지 마 끝까지 일어나야 해. 어딜 가든지 극복해. 힘은 너에게 있는 걸. 소리 높여 노래를 불러. 작은 걱정 따윈 던지고 최선을 다해 작품을 쳐봐. 어둠이 떠 날배까지 아름다운 꿈을 밝혀봐. 우리에게 달려서 그 세계 운명. 어둠이 떠 날배까지 세계 운명. 오랜 시간 간직해온 열망 까만 밤의 빛처럼 빛나. 네 눈앞에 바로 어떤 나라. 탑을 딱 봐도 superstar 딱 보면 모르나. 널 지킬 나란 걸 더 지켜볼수록 점점 빠져들어 카리스마 넘쳐 흘러 oh yeah. 운명의 소리 들려 여기서 저기서 날 찾으면 달빛이 날 비춰와. 시작해야 let's go. 어둡고 흘러는 우주 따뜻한 눈으로 감싸는 순간 신비롭게 녹아내릴 거야. 좀 더 기다려 I'll be there. 쓰러지지 마 끝까지 일어나야 해. 어딜 가든지 극복해. 힘은 너에게 있는 걸. 소리 높여 노래를 불러. 작은 걱정 따윈 던지고 최선을 다해 작품을 쳐봐. 어둠이 떠 날배까지 아름다운 꿈을 밝혀봐. 우리에게 달려서 그 세계 운명. 좋아지려면 꿈꿨던 너와 나 그래 그래서 네 운명에 The way
Crazy Raccoon and Zero Tenacity already coming in swinging. Both teams showing what they can do, but in the end, Crazy Raccoon were able to take over map number 1, and now the ball goes into Zero Tenacity's court, and now they get to choose which map we go to next.
A back and forth battle we have here, Dan, and hope you guys are enjoying the action so far, and your channel points are still kind of safe if you're joining us on Twitch, because I mean, it's up in the air because Zero Tenacity, the ones to beat rejects, but Crazy Raccoons stumble. I'd say, you know, having a little bit of a hiccup in map 1 at Eldritch Monument, but then they're able to bounce back. And we did see, I think it was more of a, like, they were kind of getting the download on them, right? They knew when team fights were lost. They didn't want to persist. Let's save the ultimates. Let's not stagger too much, and let's allow them to just get it. So kind of scary if you think about how they're going to approach this next match and how Zero Tenacity might have to change some things up, because we were talking about triple strategist, and we saw how well that worked out for Crazy Raccoon's favor.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if Crazy Raccoon do rebound towards that strategy that's worked out so well for them. But now Zero Tenacity, do they wanna not block the Hulk that we saw in that first game?
True.
I know we know it was locked in order to force a Namor ban out of Crazy Raccoon. That's what we're assuming. I don't know if that's Zero Tenacity's plan or not. We can't really get into the heads of them, so
I think now if we're gonna allow, if they're gonna still target the strategists, maybe, as we pointed out, they got to take out a hero from NX. They have to take out either Star-Lord or, as we saw there, Phoenix, because he's godlike with that aim. Yeah, and usually Phoenix is saved up for the last ban out or the last type of, or for the last scenario there. So it could be up in the air here, but we're heading to Yggdrasil, Path of Yggdrasil here. These goats are going to be running on a parade. How do you feel about this map, Dan?
definitely going to be it's one of the more vertical heavy maps. We'll put it at that. This is where Crazy Raccoon definitely could run the Ultron and the Torch combination, but then again, the bans have been more strategist related, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're not able to run that composition. So verticality might be a little bit tough for them, but for now, Zero Tenacity also going to choose to defend first. So we're gonna have to see how they approach this this map. As yeah, they do look to defend. They do have some high ground that they can work with, but we'll see how they do go for it. But one thing to mention,
yes,
every time there's a defense on these kinds of maps, mainly on Convoy, most teams like to run the triple Vanguard, triple Strategist.
They do, to defend, right? That's something that we have to note, and that has been successful. But if you are pushing these goats out, we have seen Storm, we have seen Punisher, heck, we have seen a Jeff Nato do really well in EMEA like twice of how well that Storm is able to set up those verticality, buff the teammates, and Jeff setting up so much angles. So that's something that we have to worry about on both attack and defense side. But bring it back to the picks and bans. Zero Tenacity have this habit of locking in the Luna for, I believe, Dotori. And they reserved the Luna 7 times and banned it out 3 times. Next to that is Ultron and Emma, which they've saved 3 times. But usually it is that Luna. So what's your thoughts on locking in the Luna when I see Crazy Raccoons? They've only banned out Luna twice in this entire group stage, and didn't even ban out. Yeah.
Though in general, Luna has been a very strong pick. It's very present in the picks and bans, but yeah, in general, I think Zero Tenacity, they just are just comfortable with it. It's more about comfort, but Luna also being one of the strong heroes in the game, despite the ultimate being 2 seconds shorter.
Ooh,
so
2 seconds.
yeah, oh no, 2 seconds is a lot in Marvel Rivals. These games go quick. They're just going. Yeah, but 2 seconds, yeah, it could mean the difference, but Zero Tenacity, they're able to see through the nerfs. They still like the potential of either just healing up the team or just, putting on damage and just going full force in. And Zero Tenacity, they've been wanting to do that to varying amounts of success, especially with the Venom Psylocke combos. But I wouldn't be surprised if Zero Tenacity do want to go for that composition again.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, because I think one thing I've noticed that was a bit prominent on the side of CR and not so prominent in Z10 is that they were kind of working with some team synergies with how they're able to have the Magneto and Ensong working out. They also had the pickup of the Jeff and Venom on their side. Maybe Zero Tenacity with the Luna just also kind of work their way towards that a more synergistic type team. But we digress. We're gonna head toward map number 2. It's gonna be Z10 to defend, while Crazy Raccoons are going to try to push these goats out to the streets of Yggdrasil. Saying what's up to everyone that's in chat, by the way. I see Lord Grim is here. I see Claytonic is here. I see Gexer Val Nilo. Shoutouts to everyone. Brando is here. Hello, hello. Welcome. We're in for a long day, guys. So hopefully y'all are locking in as we lock out the Emma and Warlock. Whew.
And Crazy Raccoon want to give Lost Road that Jeff, who has, like you said in map number 1, has been playing very, very well, especially with this
Swallow.
How do I say this? Sky is just sniping out XZ in these positions.
Oh yeah.
And Lostro is going to be more than happy to come back to this Jeff pick, but an adjustment coming in from Zero Tenacity. They dropped the ban every strategist you can think of part and just go all in on Vanguards.
Ban all the So they want CR to have a bad hold or bad defense here. So interesting. One-sided Emma ban on the side of Z10. And hey, JT3 was doing really well onto that to start things out with the Psionics induction. So just taking that off the table is really good. And reversing it, they're still locking in that Luna for Totori or whoever was going to pick that up. But they still don't have access to that Jeff. And now CR is really attacking all the strategists they can here.
Yeah, finally the lock-in comes in for Zero Tenacity. Dotori will be rocking the Luna Snow in the end. As Crazy Raccoon, they preemptively do ban out the Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk. And now what do they decide to go for here? Because they just completely denied the Laser Squid coming in on the side of Zero Tenacity.
Yeah, and they lock in the Mantis too. So, man, they lock in a Mantis and Ultron, which is kind of scary. And they have a Jeff to work with as well, just in case. So they're definitely playing to the triple strategist very well. However, on the side of Zero Tenacity, they can't deny one more strategist here. I wonder if they're going to take out a Flyer or they're going to they take out the Ultron. Okay, cool. No flying.
Yes. No fly zone on Yggdrasil. As Crazy Raccoon, we talked about it. They like the Torch Ultron combo, but they can't rock it anymore. So now it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment here. As Zero Tenacity probably will go for the 3-0-3 composition, 3 Vanguards, 0 Duelists, 3 Strategists, and Crazy Raccoon can have a little bit more freedom to rock what they want to run. As we have been seeing options, like you said, the Jeff NATO with the Jeff and the Storm team up ability, but there are also other teams rocking the Groot Moon Knight combo that we all know and love from so many seasons.
I think, like you said, they have their fair share of heroes to go with. NX can also be Star-Lord, and he just burst out of the gate, set up a really good angle for us to go past the first turn in Yggdrasil. However, Zero Tenacity really needs strong holds here because based on their picks and bans, I think they're really relying on them to have a good hold and for Crazy Raccoons to have not a good second half of this map. And you called it triple, as our friend Multitudes would say. Triple strategists, triple vanguards here on Zero Tenacity side, while Crazy Raccoons come out of the gate swinging here. JT3 on the Angela.
Yeah, JT3 rocking that Angela, like you said. But for now, it is a very aggressive positioning off the start for Zero Tenacity. As JT3
Wow.
is able to find Wendy, is able to find the correct clone, as Hyon also stacks it up as they take out 2 of the strategists. One of them does come back with the BRB, but JT3 just axes down No Smite. A little bit of a lumberjack moment, if you could say that, as Hyon will clean up the rest of Zero Tenacity, and this hold just already crumbling to pieces. And now Crazy Raccoon now looking to push as Zero Tenacity goes for a portal play. Do they stick with the triple here? It looks like they will, and they will re-engage.
Luckily for them that the goats haven't moved that far, but they need to hold this engagement here, especially as the goats pass the second turn. They can actually have a really good defensive hold. JT3 still on Angela, picking off the backline, but they're so bunched up together, and Wendy bringing back the strategist of old, the Loki here, but Loki having a lot of debuffs in this season. See if the survivability is going to be there. Slowly but surely.
Oh my god!
It is going to be pickoffs left and right on Crazy Raccoon side.
That is a crazy Angela ultimate coming in right inside that room. There is
Telephone
nowhere for Zero Tenacity to go. And Crazy Raccoon, yet again, win a commanding fight here. Zero Tenacity, they were just not able to run a single ultimate online. And Crazy Raccoon, look at them. They're just taking control. They're taking the advantage, and they're just gonna go all the way in. First point just now comes in as NX and the rest of the Crazy Raccoons just run rampant over Zero Tenacity.
And now they switch it up. You see Jerry on that Ultron, but man, that first checkpoint unlock without being contested is signs of confidence on Crazy Raccoons, and that's what happens when you let XC run rampant here with, when you have, what's that? The Star-Lord on NX's side. Sorry, XC is now running the Star-Lord, so the mirror match is happening as we speak. And also JT3 with Angela too. Just to start things out, that Angela ultimate on that telephone booth, that small area. Now No Smite actually takes out JT3, but the goats are still moving down.
Yeah, the goats are still indeed moving. A defensive ultimate from Zero Tenacity just to keep the team alive. But here comes the dance, and Jerry has the Rage of Ultron online, and Crazy Raccoon will just momentarily run for the hills as one member of Crazy Raccoon goes down, and the discipline coming in from Crazy Raccoon yet again, realizing that they have to regroup quickly.
Yeah, I like this. They're starving them of any type of ultimate. While this is a tough spot to kind of push from, this S turn in the second checkpoint, but just takes one good push for Zero Tenacity to actually go all the way here and pass the second checkpoint. So XE doing a great job. JT3 with a lot of disrupt, but Jeff Shark Week is happening just so that they can have the hold. But XE now actually doubling up here.
NX's
getting
turn.
the Galactic Legend.
Oh, and X actually gets taken away. XE was able to find him and just lasers him down with the Galactic Legend. And now Crazy Raccoon, this push starting to slow down a little bit. But then again, Crazy Raccoon still have a lot of time to work with.
They do. So they have to be very careful with as they push past this. But Eggsy just doing such a great job, forcing cooldowns, just pressuring anyone to kind of go forward. Kadia with the Psionic Seduction, but my goodness, Eggsy and No Smite taking 2 for the price of 1 here. And now we continue on. Crazy Raccoons getting a good push here, but No Smite is still unscathed here, still all good. And now Crazy Raccoons try to push once again.
Yep, they just have to stack up the ultimates yet again. Suhoon still threatening the fate of both worlds. JT3 also has Heaven's Fall available. So it's going to be a matter of time of when. This is a good time, but Jerry and Dotori are threatening their strategist ultimates right now, so it might be a little bit difficult for Crazy Raccoon to get back in.
True. So now it's kind of a stalemate here as we approach the 2-minute mark, or past the 2-minute mark of the game. Rikasuko is going to be the first one to try to dive on in here.
Here we go.
With Angela to force the ultimate. But now the claps are going to catch JT3 off the air, and Wendy still remains alive as they build up their ultimates. Crazy Raccoons can kind of push with the dance floor here of Seung-hoon, but Zero Tenacity are still in a good position down.
Yeah, they are just all over the back line of Crazy Raccoon. But Hyon pops the Soul Resurgence, and that might bring some resurgence into Crazy Raccoon as Lostro does pop the Jeff. Oh my god, what a sleep from Hyon! I was just rambling, but now Hyon steals away the show, denies XC's Galactic Legend, and that might be all the difference here as Zero Tenacity are forced away as Crazy Raccoon push on a little bit forward.
Yeah, and that's crazy, right? Zero Tenacity usually wants to deny the Mantis, but the fact that Hyan was able to have that good sleep, and now NX with the Galactic Legend to just push away the defense of Zero Tenacity could be the difference maker. But now Rage of Voltron, along with No Smite here, forcing out both Fate of both worlds, and we just continue on here to fight in this small spot.
Oh my god, the deny!
But deny, my goodness, JT3. Crazy Raccoons are still trying to march down these gates, but can they actually break down the gates of Yggdrasil for them to unlock the second checkpoint? We still continue to fight. Only one person from Zero Tenacity is holding.
JT3 does have the Heaven's Fall, but it looks like Zero Tenacity just in time make it out of the room, and XZ is able to clean up the rest. But here we go, Heaven's Fall coming in as Crazy Raccoon find 2, but XZ is able to trade an even trade so far, 2 for 2 overall. But it looks like Zero Tenacity finally will fall, as Asuko will as well. But again, more trades coming in, and now the feast finally coming in from No Smite, but it's with minimal rewards as we pause in the heat of the moment. This is absolute insanity coming in, and it's only map 2.
We'll find out more on the next episode, folks. See you guys next week. There you have it.
Yep, we're done here.
What a crazy team fight, man. Angela and the Venom providing so much dive ability to the backline, and Hyan popping off with that Mantis, making them reconsider how they did their picks and bans, because Eggsy was popping off with that Star-Lord, but that sleep was so crucial for them to push past and go to that second mark of Yggdrasil. So it's looking like, I mean, it's a back and forth. At this point, I'm not sure who's going to take it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I need to highlight JT3, just denying so many ultimates. Shout out to Hyan as well, getting a crazy sleep onto XZ. Something that is very, very difficult to do as a Mantis player.
Yeah.
But yeah, JT3 also denying so many ultimates. That's what Angela's really good at, just disrupting and displacing so many of these heroes. And we saw it right there, somehow finding the perfect time to deny the Feast of the Abyss coming in from No Smite. And
disrupt, displace, and deny. That's basically how you kind of bring out this JT3 gameplay in this matchup, because there was so much crucial ultimates that could have changed the tides of this game, but JT3 was just on top of it all, just denying and playing the real front line there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, as I was saying, if JT3 keeps going and disrupts all of these ultimates, Crazy Raccoon might just, they could just go all the way through it to the third point. But now Zero Tenacity, I also have to give the flowers to them. They've been holding this second point really, really well, staying in that little room, staying away from the line of sight of NX's Galactic Legend. And this positioning from Zero Tenacity just helps them push on forward, but we have yet to see if that'll be worth it in the end.
I think there's that urgency for Crazy Raccoons, because in the next half of this game, they're denied a lot of good Vanguards. So I wonder if JT3 is still going to stick to the Angela in a defense, because I can understand she's really good at push, she's really good at being very aggressive, but when it comes down to the second half of this game, they're denied the Magneto, they don't have an Emma, they don't have a Doctor Strange. So they can't afford any of those heroes that can try to revive the team, or not revive, but get them back to the team fight fast enough, give them that bubble, give them that shield, have an anti-dive going on. So I think Crazy Raccoons really just have to step on the gas and not look back at all. They just got to keep going for the 3-point game here.
Yeah, they have to. Zero Tenacity playing for the long game. Like you said, betting out these key Vanguards that could help Crazy Raccoon on the defensive sides. Like you said, no Strange, no Mag, and it's going to be a little bit difficult. So Crazy Raccoon really, really need to keep going and get that push going, because right now they look good, but if they start to show cracks in the defensive side, it's gonna hurt them even more.
So I'm looking at the pause that's happening right now. Kadia and Ripasuko are actually out, but if you know, No Smite already popped the Venom shield while JT3 is looking mighty healthy. So it looks like, I think Venom's the only one. There's only Venom that's holding the point right now, but they still have to recapture it for them to push. So I wonder if this is going to give enough time for one of them to jump onto the point. It's not looking good because Kadia was the only Vanguard and he was just knocked out. So
yeah, he is gone. No Smite has the Feast, has the bonus HP to work with. Not entirely sure if he has the second health bar available to him just yet, but yeah, Crazy Raccoon's also. Vostro is in the middle of a Jeff ultimate right now.
Oh geez, really?
So we'll see when that will get popped. I think it's just a zoning ultimate in a sense, as the rest of Zero Tenacity are just scrambling to get back onto the site. Keep in mind, before we go into this pause, there has been a 2-for-2 trade and then a 1-for-1 trade, if I remember correctly. So it's been somewhat of an even trade. So both teams are a little bit scattered right now.
Yeah. Saying what's up to everyone. This gives us time to talk to chat a little bit. Hopefully, if channel points are
cool
still
down a little
bit. Yeah, we're gonna cool down a little bit. Saying what's up to the ultimate derp. We see that Ted is here. We have Ben. The Tiger is here. We have Gexer, Lord Grim, Anti Tryhard has been joining us since Group 1. If you guys have been with us, let us know who y'all are for. I don't know if you have emojis of Crazy Raccoons or Z10, just because the chat is moving right really fast and this game's so fast. So it's kind of hard to read everything. So we're just reading out your usernames. So shout out to each and every one of you that's joining us. Hopefully you're doing well. Are you for Crazy Raccoons? Are you for Z10? Let us know with maybe some emojis in chat or whatever you guys want. But right now, I think, well, it's all right to say that Crazy Raccoons are the favored ones to win this one, right? Because they're undefeated
on
coming
paper,
in, right?
On paper, yes. Crazy Raccoon are currently the only undefeated team, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
10-0. Didn't drop a single map so far. And right now, we've been covering the storyline a little bit as we go into playoffs. Crazy Raccoons, they were in Group A, and if you remember in Group A, there weren't really all strong teams on paper. Keep in mind, on paper, as Group B was more dubbed as Group of Death. You had Reject and Genji both being in that same group, but Crazy Raccoon, you could argue, had the easier of the two groups. And now, right now, as we go into playoffs, this is like really their first big test, and Zero Tenacity is a good starting point when it comes to playoffs here.
They are. And then remind me, Dan, our next match is going to be Genji versus someone, right? But
I remember correctly, yes.
That we will be
I think we're getting back soon.
Yeah, back soon.
Very, very soon. But yeah, the next matchup is Genji up against Onside Gaming.
Wow.
So almost a Korean derby, but Genji did also adjust a little bit in terms of their roster, but we are back in the heat of the moment. This is where we ended off. Can Crazy Raccoon secure the second point? Overtime is triggered here as NX is able to track down another even trade, but this time in favor of Crazy Raccoon as they're able to find 1-for-2 as the rest of Zero Tenacity pile on in. JT3 finding anyone to skewer, but in the end, Crazy Raccoon finally make it to the second point.
Like moths to a flame. Yeah, they were actually just funneling in, and the slow staggers taken out. Jerry first. No Smite had to run on back, give a point just to heal up, and then Kadia also trying to switch up to Captain America. So now Zero Tenacity need a really good hold to deny the 3 points here, as Crazy Raccoon setting up really good flanks here. We're going to buff the Star-Lord here, just try to push in. We have Soul Resurgence on high-end side that has been MVP, I would say MVP-like performance with this Mantis. But now we're trying to set up a dive here as NX, Two Galactic Legends are going to be ready, but it's going to be NX to pop first.
NX is going to start firing away. Lostro is going to find first blood in this team fight in particular, as the rest of Zero Tenacity are going to get pinned into this side of the map. JT3 finds a skewer onto Dotori, who has to jump away to safety, as the rest of Zero Tenacity need to find a way to get back, as Crazy Raccoon are just piling on in, and the rest of them are starting to make their way onto the site. A barrage of particles, a barrage of ultimates, flags, circles, dance floors, you name it. We've got it all here right on the point. As Zero Tenacity and Crazy Raccoon just start swinging away.
They do, and No Smite did swing away, but Ripasuko is going to try to go back. Oh no, it's actually No Smite having also that piece of the Abyss.
Oh my god!
Unfortunately,
wait, what?
Unable to get it and now hold the 2. Oh, I didn't even see the time, Dan. Oh my god, I thought another team fight was about to ensue.
Tunnel. Oh my god, I think Crazy Raccoon tunneled a little too hard. We tunneled a little too hard. We didn't even look at the timer. No, not even a single ultimate. I'm sorry, not even a single player on Crazy Raccoon were able to get a foot onto the site, at least trigger the overtime meter. And that it might be a crucial error coming in on to this second half of this map. And now, like we said, Crazy Raccoon, look at your screen. They don't have access to Magneto. They don't have access to the Doctor Strange. Not even the Emma
out.
So how are they going to defend? We've seen so many of these players go triple on the defensive side, on these convergence, on these convoy maps. And Crazy Raccoon, their resources are so limited right now.
A little bit. NX tried to go with the Groot a little bit, but I think he has way more value as the Star-Lord. But man, apologies, folks. I didn't even notice as we were. I thought the next team fight was about to ensue, but the clock just wind out. We didn't even trigger an overtime for that, and it was actually still kind of far. So, as you said, could be tunnel vision. Could have been maybe they wanted to just force more team fights, but. This could be a big opening for Zero Tenacity to capitalize on, as we see JT3 still on the Angela for the displacement, but they are going with a Wolverine and Storm just for them to go guns ablaze, and Exy is already out of the gate here to try and get a kidnap going on, trying to mark down Angela. Couldn't get it though.
Yeah, realizes that the range is a little too much, but yeah. The leap is on cooldown. It looks like Exy is going to change over to the Star-Lord. And now the push begins for Zero Tenacity. Can Crazy Raccoon hold? If you remember correctly, the first time around when Crazy Raccoon were pushing, they were able to easily make it past into the first point. But can Crazy Raccoon put up a fight here as 2 go down early? And now Crazy Raccoon need to run for the hills. Hyon and a fellow strategist need to fall away as XC looking to push the issue here, as the rest of Zero Tenacity look to push this point further and further in.
Yeah, Kadia now also on the displacement. Hero here tries to get the stab onto the Venom, and now eyes are in the sky, Angela's are in the sky, but Kadia backing away just to get those heals going on. So, gotta love how Crazy Raccoon's disciplined not to force any team fights, but they really got to wait for their vanguards. And now Jerry,
big skewer,
Rage of Ultron, and JT3 taking out Wendy with a big skewer there.
Yeah, big skewer indeed. Rage of Ultron is going to get denied. Save Wendy there. And now Crazy Raccoon have a little bit of a chance to breathe, but now Wendy being respawned and being so close to the team is just able to rejoin the fight with relative ease. So Crazy Raccoon now need to lock in yet again.
Yeah, so they're still not out of the woods here. They need to come in, and now it seems like a Galactic Legend would help them do that. They trade off 1-for-1 here in Ultron for 2 strategists, but we do have a Karmic Revival about to be used by Hyan. Hyan chooses to revive himself, but a little too late on the timing there, so they still push these goats past the turn here, but still making it a hard team fight is Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah, they need to regroup again. Now a little bit of a moment to breathe, but for now, looks like everyone on Crazy Raccoon is looking to dive in. And X just jumping, leaping his way onto the site, but the heavens fall coming in as XC looking to clean up the pieces as the Jeff ultimate is going to be used by Lostro, but XC is just whirling away. But Lostro is able to find Doturi. Hyon is able to get the Karmic Revival down in time, but XC is going absolutely ham, but JT3 comes back alive and as Asako shuts down that Star-Lord on Zero Tenacity.
Note that JT3 unfortunately getting eliminated, but the Karmic Revival was ready, so we have another Heavens Fall on his side. Zero Tenacity need to pick up the pace here as we're about to hit the first, the final minute of this first push. So now they're setting up an angle really far away from the objective. So, how are they going to try it? Going to try to go for the Rage of Voltron, just to push, and a dive also on Ripasuko.
Even if they don't get any knockouts here, Crazy Raccoon are okay with this. They're okay with keeping Zero Tenacity at bay, but it looks like Zero Tenacity find an alternative route onto the site as Wendy gets a freeze onto NX, and that's going to take him out as the rest of Zero Tenacity finally making their way. Surely this is enough to get them onto the first point, because now it's all delayed, all late. Oh no, Hyon can't get to the circle in time as XC is able to laser him down. But Crazy Raccoon are still in this fight. They're not done yet, but it looks like that invisible boundary might just do it. And Zero Tenacity finally making their way in.
Okay, we see that the jump from Eggsy able to take out JT3. They continue to just stagger Crazy Raccoon. Kadia has changed on over to the Magneto. And surely this has to be the overtime to actually knock down the gates, the first gates of Yggdrasil, as Crazy Raccoons are going to give up this first, give up a little bit. Oh, but hang on, JT3. Oh no, he's trying to fight his way in, but they're going to just allow it to happen.
It is the anticlimactic play, but it is the correct play. JT3 wanted to try to stall a little bit, but realizes that it's going to stagger way too much. We'll just back away for now, as the Rage of Ultron is going to be used. Whoa! But Ultron is unstoppable during it, but NX lasers him down. We'll laser another, and this is just a light show coming in from NX. The tracking is on point. The aim is crisp as he's almost able to take down No Spite. But Zero Tenacity needed to run for the hills. Keep in mind, it took them way too long to get to that first point. So all they have is 2 minutes.
They do. So I like how they were able to actually save up No Smite, but in the process, you build up NX's Galactic Legend. Hyon does have the Karmic Revival for them to push still. So NX now gonna go for the ultimate to take out Cherry once again. But Magneto to counter and takes out Lastro in the process. Eggsy now trying to go for the Venom as the dance floor is being lit on both sides. Oh my god, but hang on, we have Karmic Revival. So Eggsy does have the Galactic Legend ready for him to use, and he uses it right away just to get some elims. Kadia takes out Lastro, and they continue on to push.
Push is going for Zero Tenacity. They find too early, but here comes Sunghun with the Fate of Both Worlds just to nullify any more damage. It's just damage control on Crazy Raccoon as Jerry and No Spite team up to find 2. As this push will inevitably move on forward. I don't think they'll be able to make it to the second point, but it'll be very, very close.
It would be. So they stagger a lot. They have to wait for JT3 and Ripasuko. We do see that Eggsy is setting up a flank here. Still at 35%. Ultimate checks here. Dotri and Jerry do have defensive ults ready to work with. Eggsy just drawing fire. We put an Ultron bot on him just to keep him alive. And now we're back into another team fight.
Yep. Hyon just poking away as Jerry has the Rage of Ultron. NX is going to get caught out. Maybe even off guard by the Rage of Ultron being up and ready to use. Dotri still has the invisible boundary. And on paper right now, Crazy Raccoon might not be able to hold down the fort here as the invisible boundary does come in. That extra support is all it takes to get them onto the second site as Zero Tenacity ever so close to getting to that second point as the Meteor takes out the Venom. But JT3 finds a skewer onto 2, and NX will clean up the other. And it looks like signs of life coming in from Crazy Raccoon as NX does have the Galactic Legend firing away, firing to keep Crazy Raccoon alive. The overtime meter still alive and ready as that second point, though, in the end, will go over to Zero Tenacity from the heroics of XZ.
The stagger. Okay, Venom has to get out of there. He has to hightail it just to make sure that he's going to go in with the rest of the team. But Eggsy trying to leave no prisoners and trying to actually take him out. So Crazy Raccoons need an insane hold. If Zero Tenacity can push past this, I don't know if Crazy Raccoons is going to think really hard about how they're going to play that, how they play that first round. So Lastro now is going to try to set up an angle here with the Jeff. There's only 60 seconds on the clock. They're going to start it out with a Rage of Voltron here. Sunghun's going to hold on to the Fate of Both Worlds, but NX trying to push the Eye in the Sky as they try and continue on to hold here.
The timing coming in from Hyon with the Soul Bond just get that extra damage reduction onto everyone, so no one on Crazy Raccoon goes down to the Ultron ultimate, but Wendy does have to fade of both worlds. It's a matter of time of Wendy wants to use it, but it might not even need it as Asuko goes down early. But there's the Karmic Revival. Brings back Asuko as NX twirling away, but the Karmic Revival will bring back NX into the fight as XC finds more. Galactic Legend available yet again, but there's the Fate of Both Worlds coming in from Seunghoon. They all need a bunch together. Lostro finds a Jeff ultimate. But how many did he find? That is something we don't know just yet as more ultimates coming in. NX, his health bar dancing down and up, but can he find any sort of advantage as the Invisible Boundary and the Fate of Both Worlds going to be burned by Zero Tenacity, but no one goes down just yet. But finally, NX falls over onto the site as the rest of Zero Tenacity slowly but surely moving towards that point. They just need to make it halfway onto the third point. So close, but can they get there as Hyan finds a snipe onto Wendy? But is it gonna be enough? It doesn't seem likely as No Smite able to team up with 2 and the rest of Crazy Raccoon fall. Zero Tenacity answer back with game number 2.
2-2.
The fact that Zero Tenacity were able to turn that around after a crazy first hold of Crazy Raccoons really begs the question. Zero Tenacity was really playing for this endgame scenario to deny any vanguards for any holds. And XZ is going to be your MVP of this matchup. It was a good effort on Crazy Raccoon's side, but then it comes back to how they played that first half of Yggdrasil. And if they were able to push all 3, we could have been potentially seeing a different result here.
Very well could have seen, like you said, a different outcome, a different result. But this is the timeline we're in. This is the timeline where Crazy Raccoon weren't able to step foot onto the site in time, and that allows Zero Tenacity to take that second map here on Yggdrasil. And XZ showing some Star Wars gameplay. Able to go toe and toe with NX, who proclaims
51?
he is one of the best in the world. And yeah, 51 eliminations.
Insane, bro.
That is a crazy number to look at right now.
I would say though, Crazy Raccoons showed a lot of adversity. Showed a lot of flexibility here. Hyan onto the Psylocke. We had JT3 kind of forced to go with Angela here because there were no more vanguards to work with to push. I mean, we did see a Groot for the defense, but that was on NX. But NX had his own game that he was playing because his Star-Lord was way too valuable. But it really went down the wire. It doesn't matter how fast, but they were still able to cross that finish line. Famous Man once said, doesn't matter if it's an inch or a mile, a win is still a win. Family.
Win is a win indeed. And Zero Tenacity very well would want to take that, as now we're tied 1-1. It's effectively a best of 3 now.
It is.
So,
that is true.
Ooh, exciting.
And
I'm so excited.
Zero Tenacity made history being the first one to serve an L to rejects and being the first one to give Crazy Raccoons their first L, bro. Like, what the heck?
The perfect run is no more. It is over.
It's over.
It's done. The run is dead. The flawless run is gone. We have to reset, and that's exactly what Crazy Raccoon need to do as they have the map choice. They have a few minutes to think about it, and we'll see what their choice is coming in to map number 3, so don't go anywhere.
Oh yeah, 필요할 때 내가 널 지켜줄게. 간절히 바라면 이루어지는 마법인 거야. 운명의 소리 들려. 여기서 저기서 날 찾으면 달빛이 날 비춰와. 시작해야 let's go. 어둡고 혼란한 우주 따뜻한 눈으로 감싸나. 순간 신비롭게 녹아내릴 거야. 좀 더 기다려. I'll be there. 쓰러지지 마 끝까지 일어나야 해. 어딜 가든지 극복해. 힘은 너에게 있는 걸. 소리 높여 노래를 불러. 작은 걱정 따윈 던지고 최선을 다해 잘 손을 잡아. 어둠이 떠날 때까지 아름다운 기다려 I'll be there 쓰러지지 말 끝까지 일어나야 해 어딜 가든지 극복해 힘은 너에게 있는 걸 소리 높여 노래를 불러 작은 걱정 따윈 던지고 최선을 다해 잘 미쳐봐 어둠이 떠날 때까지 아름다운 꿈을 밝혀봐 우리에게 달려서 세계 운명 눈이 부신 모든 순간들 지켜내야 해 내게 주어지려면 꿈꿨던 너와 나 그래들의 승리와 명예
Clear your sleep schedules or clear out your day because we have ourselves a 1-1 series. Z10 has made history, not only beating rejects, but serving Crazy Raccoons their first adversity, serving their first L of this entire group stage plus playoffs. And right now, to be Crazy Raccoons in a very interesting spot, Dan. They have not seen a game number 3, which they'll be actually picking the map.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen Crazy Raccoon pick a map for themselves. Like you said, this is their first ever map loss in stage 2. They went flawless in the group stage, but now we talked about this time and time again. This is their first true test going up against Zero Tenacity, a team that's nothing, which is nothing to scoff at. We've got a bunch of players that used to be on that Genji roster back in stage 1 and now banding together here with a few extra players form Zero Tenacity, and now they are making a name for themselves, coming in from the open qualifiers, making their way into stage 2 and now in stage 2 playoffs. So it's been a long road for Zero Tenacity, but for now they are looking to prove that they can still go toe to toe against the world's best.
Yeah, and you know, we build up this narrative that hasn't been as a perfect run so far, but I think once we hit the playoffs and you start to see teams kind of clash against each other, you can only hold on to that perfect run for so long. But now I kind of like this because sometimes an L makes you fight more or fight better, or you can actually see more depth when it comes to adversity. And Zero Tenacity, even though they got that win, we still have to see if they can continue on that streak, because they did get that win because Crazy Raccoons got a little bloodthirsty there and got a little tunnel vision, not going for the full 3 and playing to the win conditions of Z10. So now this will be Z10's big test, another test on Z10's side, if they can hold on to the momentum here and kind of rattle the Crazy Raccoons.
Yeah, like you said, it did rattle Crazy Raccoons a little bit, probably. Especially since it's their first map loss. In a sense, you could probably call it a wake-up call. We did see Crazy Raccoon on paper easily making their way into playoffs, but now things are starting to ramp up, and we finally see the choice coming in from Crazy Raccoon. They're choosing Central Park here. The Convergence map. I think it's Convergence. Yes, Convergence will be the final one. And keep in mind, since this is the final game mode in the competitive pool at the moment, we will reset when we go to map number 4. So all 3 maps will be available. You will have Domination, Convoy, and Convergence available. The only restriction is that you cannot pick maps that we have already been on. So Hell's Heaven is not available. Yggdrasil no longer going to be available. And now Central Park.
I'm excited for this one because we did see some amazing Angel plays onto JT3. I wonder if that will still be on the table, because there's a lot of kidnap potential in this map, a lot of dump areas, especially once you start to get inside Dracula's castle. So the picks and bans, we're going to see if Z10 is going to consider banning out the Mantis, which they've always been doing since group stage, but the switch up to going for Vanguards really helped them out, and it seems like they just want to take out Sharks. No Sharks this week, no Sharks allowed in Dracula's castle, folks.
And no fly zone in Yggdrasil. It looks like it's going to be a no. How do I say that? No.
Swim
below sea level zone.
It's adult swim.
Guess no swim.
Yeah.
yeah. That works. But all fly
though. It's an all fly zone here. We got Crazy Raccoon.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, Crazy Raccoon. They give NX the Ultron there. That's huge. That is huge.
Ultron's really good in this map. There's a lot of good spots he can set up, especially since Crazy Raccoons are pushing out first.
Yes.
You can kind of set up in the 2 pillars once you get past the columns, but Zero Tenacity locking in the Mantis and also banning out the Mantis, which was good because High-End was godlike. He was nasty with it with those sleeps.
Shout out to that sleep onto Eggsy. That was disgusting. Absolute insanity.
That's what we strive for as Mantis players.
How do you land that? You just had to lob it at the perfect angle. Eggsy had to fly also at the perfect angle, and anyway. Yep, Zero Tenacity. They give no room for NX to work with. No Star-Lord safety net this time around. Zero Tenacity will take Star-Lord for themselves.
Interesting. Are they going to actually lock in a torch here? Because they're kind of target banning, the Star-Lord. They did lock in the Ultron, which maybe NX and High-End could kind of rotate around who's going to use that. But also banning out the Luna. So they trade out the Luna to lock in the Mantis and Star-Lord. So one-sided Ultron and Luna for Crazy Raccoons, while the last ban on Zero Tenacity side, I wonder what it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the Torch, but I don't think Torch is that valuable of a ban. So I wouldn't be surprised if Zero Tenacity go for a different kind of ban.
Phoenix.
Yep, they're just going to target down NX here, take out the Phoenix. So in a sense, it's making Crazy Raccoon tunnel onto this Ultron Torch pickup. And Zero Tenacity are well aware that Crazy Raccoon really like this composition. And if you're able to pin them into said composition and are able to counter appropriately, you just kind of effectively put Crazy Raccoon in a chokehold, and there's really no other options you can really go for unless NX really has something deep in his pocket.
I think
So we'll see.
we've studied Crazy Raccoons, right? And we've warned everyone watching about this this tandem of Ultron and Torch, right? So Zero Tenacity know what they're getting into. Maybe it's the devil they know that's better than the devil they don't, since they've also kind of studied the same tapes, and they just got to be able to get ready for this type of matchup. But kind of scary that you're giving High-End and NX the heroes that they kind of want. But we do see a bit of synergy here with Mantis, Groot, and the Loki here for the defensive hold of Zero Tenacity.
Yep, the team up very, very strong here. But now, how does Zero Tenacity decide to hold here as the timer runs to 0? And here we go. Map number 3 underway here. NX and Crazy Raccoons looking to strike back here in map number 3.
NX already setting up a really good angle here alongside with his compadre, the Torch, High-End here, but Eggsy. And I mean, Loki, yes, receiving nerfs here and there, but he's still crazy once he's able to set up his clones in this area just to hold strong. Note that Groot is here as well, so he has extra walls from the Mantis buff.
Yeah, extra cover indeed, as Kaidia gonna get lasered down, forced to use a bubble on himself. Does that allow Crazy Raccoon to look for an opportunity here? They know that there's no bubble available, but a great shield from Lostro will allow NX to laser down Eggsy, and that might be the tipping point here in this first fight, as NX just barely in time is able to save Asuko, as the rest of Zero Tenacity need to hide under cover to just prevent themselves from getting lasered down from above.
True, Eggsy is going to slowly but surely join the team fight here, but they might have to give up a little bit of ground, but hang on, invisible boundary for them to hold strong here. So now this allows Zero Tenacity to march give a bit of space here up, and strangling Prison, but the backline, but they still stay alive here on the side of Crazy Raccoons. High-End though, bright like a star, is going to try to light everything up as they try and force them out, and Eggsy getting a pick off of JT3.
Yep, Silence Seduction is going to be answered back by Asuko. JT3 did get taken out. Kaidia did use the Meteor onto NX, but was just a few damage points short.
Yeah.
And NX was able to barely survive, as Wendy did use the
God of Mischief, yeah.
God of Mischief to find a strategist ultimate, if I were to assume anything, but now Crazy Raccoon looking to push yet again. Here we go. Fatal Worlds is available, so is the Meteor M. But JT3 opts to use it on something else. And here we go. The push comes in with the Fatal Worlds just to deny and neutralize what is left of XC as Hyan torches him down. No survivors here as he moves on forward, moves into the back line of Zero Tenacity. Great sleep coming in from Jerry, and that will force Hyan away as NX did use the Rage of Ultron to find something, but Kaidia will be the one to answer with an elimination.
Eggsy back into the team fight here. His Galactic Legend forced out 2 ultimates, the Meteor M and the Fate of Both Worlds on the side of Crazy Raccoons, and an amazing hold on Zero Tenacity's side, even though they were able to actually get a bit of a backline here. But Eggsy back in the fray, taking out NX in the sky. We're about to hit the final minute of this hold, and Zero Tenacity doing very well here. Now it's Eggsy, you know, playing very bold here, playing very strong, going very aggressive. He's the one of the most elims, but he's getting a lot of respect out of Crazy Raccoons. Hyan now building up that ultimate, needs to go for the Supernova here and now.
Oh, great synergy coming in, using the Psionic Seduction to try to crowd control the members of Zero Tenacity, but a great Soul Resurgence keeps every one of Zero Tenacity alive, but Hyan still doing significant damage here, able to provide zoning, able to use the pillar as well to provide that extra cover, and now has the assistance of NX to just keep himself alive for just a little bit longer, as JT3's Meteor did get screened by Kaidia, and here we go, the push now coming in from Crazy Raccoon. This is their breaking point. They need to win this fight if they want to secure this first point, but Zero Tenacity are not going down without a fight.
Yeah, used the invisible boundary right away, forcing Lastro to spend its second. Kaidia now has the Meteor M. JT3 takes out Eggsy, it's totally fine. Kaidia gets a dunk and takes out Seonghoon in the process, forcing out the Loki clones. Hyan still the annoying Human Torch up in the sky. They trade back and forth. Jerry takes out NX. JT3 takes out Kaidia though. So now this could be the hold they want to get the point, and Crazy Raccoons forcing out the overtime, unlock the mission area.
Yeah, finally, they get the first point. A sigh of relief coming in from Crazy Raccoon. A quick checkup on the ultimates. Okay, I was going to say, actually had the legend, but he can't be a legend if he's lying dead on the floor, so NX will surely keep Eggsy at bay for a few more seconds. But now Crazy Raccoon, they need to find as much ground as possible to try to get the distance down. But you also have to remember, you gotta at least have someone on the site, or else that overtime meter is not going to be triggered. So Zero Tenacity finding a way to just at least find one elimination before the barrage of ultimates come in. And here is the start as Seonghoon is dangerously low. He is hellfire, dancing down and down again, but XC can't find the mark. He can't find it. But the Strangling Prison is going to be perfectly timed though, as Zero Tenacity are able to hold off for a little bit, as a minute and a half left on this timer.
That was so beautiful. The patty cake play, that's totally fine, but you're not looking at your front line, and slowly but surely they were able to get that going. Wendy now having the God of Mischief here. He's going to get a copy onto one of the strategists. So Zero Tenacity with a good hold. They have to force their way out of this spawn area. A minute is about to hit the clock, and Eggsy now coming in with that bubble just to force out the cooldowns before they try and touch point.
Here we go, NX thinks that the time is now. Kaidia tries to land this Meteor onto NX, I assume, but doesn't quite land the mark. And now the rest of Zero Tenacity need to find a way back into this fight. Wendy uses the God of Mischief to steal away the Soul Resurgence. But it's a trade coming in with Lastro's Invisible Boundary, but Hyan goes down before that boundary even takes fruition as Crazy Raccoon. Now, 30 seconds left, and they do it.
Scary strategist there going for Hyan. Katori having the invisible boundary to work with. JT3 forced to not touch point here, but Hyan trying to pepper up the objective just so no one can touch. But now, invisible boundary right on time here, just so we can get an elimination onto Ripa Suko, and they're still holding strong with their ultimates, Dan.
Yeah, the ultimates are strong with this one as JT3 charges up the Meteor. Can he find the mark? Yo! Bang! Bang! He takes out 2. Jerry and Wendy wiped out from this fight as Zero Tenacity are struggling to pick up the pieces as their fellow strategists are finding their way back onto the site. Crazy Raccoon forcing them away. A Supernova, Psionic Seduction, Wombo, Combo. Everyone goes down. Crazy Raccoon will take over this fight. But the overtime meter, they need to have at least someone on this site, and they are not making the same mistake again. And they will.
They're still holding strong here. So incredible stuff, but no smite. Hang on. We get a portal going on. He's going to try to touch. Can he catch in time? It's slowly climbing the area. And now he's able to actually get it. Force the next team fight. Jerry comes in the Soul Resurgence and forcing out the invisible boundary. No smite trying to go for the backline here. High end still hiding behind the invisible boundary just to keep everyone alive. The Rage of Ultron. Lastro takes out the Tori. So Crazy Raccoon's picking up the pieces and cleaning up shop in this team fight. It's only the Vanguards and one duelist to keep it alive here to force out the overtime, but the dust is settling and Crazy Raccoon march past the gates of Dracula.
JT3 from downtown, a 3-point shot onto Jerry and Wendy. What a shot coming in from the Meteor. I think that was one of the best Meteors we've seen in this entire tournament, but for now, the job's not done. They still have a 3rd point to take over, and Crazy Raccoon are looking to do just that.
They are coming into this next fight. We have Wendy with the God of Mischief, as well as a Galactic Legend, locked and loaded here. Minute left on the clock. Can they still deny the point here? This is a very dangerous area. This bridge area is can have a lot of pushes, so Invisible Woman is going to have so much value in this next team fight. It seems like they're just holding strong here, waiting for the objective to get to a really scary spot as Eggsy just holds up the line here.
Yeah, like you said, displacement being the name of the game here in this part. As Hyon and Eggsy looking for a 1 versus 1, throwing away, but JT3 holding strong onto this site. 20 seconds left until Crazy Raccoon are forced into this site. The stairs are just so difficult to get onto. As Crazy Raccoon look to breathe for a little bit, they can just back away. They have time. NX looking for a different approach. Trying to find some sort of potential, but now the ultimate's coming in. Can the displacement come in? No Smite needs to be careful to not get shoved down onto the map. Asako goes down somehow. As Sunghun is not able to save him in time, everyone of Crazy Raccoon just crowded together. No Smite. Can he get the Strangling Prison in time? It doesn't seem likely as the rest of these ultimates are coming in. Lastro with a saving invisible boundary just to keep Zero Tenacity at bay. And now the Strangling Prison comes in. It catches so many members of Zero Tenacity, but it only takes out NX. As Crazy Raccoon, they're still holding. But the Galactic Legend, can they hold? Can they stay alive in this fight? A Desperation Portal even used by Asako. Hyon now on the Wolverine. Like you said, JT3 now dangerously low as well. As so much action happening here. Who goes down first? Who will win? Hyon will be the difference. Kidnaps one, takes down the other, and the Vanguards of Crazy Raccoon are gone out of this fight. Keep in mind, with overtime going, these respawn timers are so much longer. They're doubled. And now Crazy Raccoon, with the skin of their teeth, will just take away what is left of Zero Tenacity. A great Eye of Agamotto, a great kidnap to displace everyone of Zero Tenacity. Crazy Raccoon take 3 in the closest way possible.
Man, they were crawling their way, but man, oh man, did they get that 3 points. Very well earned, paid in full. And Zero Tenacity having really good holds, and it was just a battle of ultimates after ultimates, but the change up onto the Strange and to the Wolverine was just the cherry on top for them to get that 3 points. And you have to admit, Zero Tenacity, they were kind of ahead when it came to ultimates, but the way they were able to manage it, it was really just a slow climb up the stairs and just playing it very well and very, I'd say, as a unit, just moving as one, and they could not afford to lose a team fight. So now Zero Tenacity have to duplicate that same type of performance and force out an overtime here if they want to maintain the, if they want to take over this this best of 5 series.
Imagine overtime in the first match of map 3 here in playoffs. I don't know if I can take that. We still
we have to restart.
We still got 3.
We can only go up to 12 hours. So me and Nell covered a best of 8 in a best of 7 series.
That only in Asia will you find a best of 8 and a best of 7.
Yeah.
It sounds confusing, but if you know, you know. But now Crazy Raccoon look to hold. As Zero Tenacity, it's their turn to push. It's overtime or bust for them, and they need to find 3 in order to do so.
Eggsy already making sure he knows it's going to be a dogfight in the air. Already far out here, pushing and making sure that Hyan has his attention as they try and force their way down this alley.
How is there a ground for Eggsy to stand on that tree? That's something I've never seen before.
Oh, yeah?
But anyway, here we go. Zero Tenacity. Looking for a they're getting scrambled around. Yeah, the structure is starting to respawn here. Jerry now caught out. No, poor Mantis getting caught out as Crazy Raccoon. They have the man advantage here, and they look to push the objective, push the advantage, if you will. As Hyan goes in, almost finds someone, but has significant damage. Will take out one. Asuko teams up to find another, and it's going to be looking like a team ace unless JT3 with a triple.
Yeah, it's amazing how Crazy Raccoon was able to clean up shop, but Zero Tenacity does have some retries going on here. Eggsy turning it up to the Phoenix, so we do have the end song, Inferno here, along with the Meteor M to work with. So Zero Tenacity has that going on, but they need to set up angles. They need to push a little bit. When with NX and Hyan in the sky here, it could be a different story. We do have NX ready with that Rage of Ultron, while Dotori does have the invisible boundary, but doesn't threaten a push here.
Yeah. Apart from the invisible boundary, there's really nothing else really to work off of, as Wendy is going to use the God of Mischief, will use the Soul Resurgence to get everyone speeding onto the site. But will that elicit a reaction coming in? Here we go. 3 ultimates invested from Crazy Raccoon, Supernova, Psylocke Seduction, and Lustra with the invisible boundary, as Hyan able to pick up a quick double here, as Zero Tenacity needs to look and run for the hills yet again.
Hightailing it out of there. It was quite expensive, but they still trade 3 for 3 here when it comes to the ultimates. 2 defensive ultimates on 2 sides of Crazy Raccoons, but Cadia and Eggsy are going to have their Wombo combo ready in time, so I wonder if that is going to be the case. They need to force out an ultimate, though, or a defensive ult on the side of Crazy Raccoons for it to be super effective, but they are still able to actually hold really far away.
So Resurgence Part 2, this is their second push coming in, but this time it's well countered with Soonhoon's Fate of Both Worlds. But keep in mind, the End Song Inferno and the Meteor, the Wombo combo, can they land the mark? We're not entirely sure. It might have been sucked away into JT3's Meteor as he takes out Jerry. Wendy goes down to Hyan, gets a double, and the hold stays strong yet again for Crazy Raccoon.
The immovable force of Crazy Raccoon. Zero Tenacity now at a big disadvantage coming into this next one. They are staggered. They don't have that much ultimates. And so far, Crazy Raccoon's defense are holding very strong. They have access to the vanguards of their choice. You ban out NX's favorable duelist, but you still have to deal with him. No smite, already switching on over to the Doctor Strange. They hear that a portal is opening, and now they have switched things up. They are going to try to approach from the backside here.
Yep, JT3 going to be the first contact here. As the rest of Zero Tenacity, they have to make an adjustment. This is their adjustment. This might be their final team fight here. If they don't get this, they're going to lose out here on map number 3. So there's a lot on the line here as Crazy Raccoon are looking good right now. They're looking to hold as ultimates. Keep in mind, Dotori does have the invisible boundary, does use it. As I say, Asuko and Lastro also have their own ultimates as well. Lastro is going to counter, but now the advantage in ultimates is in favor of Crazy Raccoon as the Supernova and the Psylocke Seduction. That combo coming in yet again. JT3 though does have the Meteor, so when will he use it? The invisible boundary stolen with the God of Mischief, but now JT3 with the dunk onto Wendy as the rest of Crazy Raccoon are going to hold. The overtime meter is going to run in, but is it going to run to 0 soon? Might be, as the Eye of Agamotto finds one. Jerry will clean up Hyan. As Zero Tenacity, they're looking to hold up. Look how thin that overtime meter is, as the rest of Crazy Raccoon with the Fate of Both Worlds looking to hold, looking to stay alive here, as map 3 surely will go in their favor unless Zero Tenacity have some way in. Kaidia switches to the Venom to try to find a way in, but the time runs slow. Zero Tenacity are forced out, and Crazy Raccoon at match point.
Zero Tenacity, you got to give it up to them. They tried their best. They tried different approaches. They tried switching things up, going for an End Song and Meteor M combo. But at the end of the day, the map choice was on Crazy Raccoon's side, and it definitely shows in spades. A 3-0 game here, and now match point for Crazy Raccoons heading into the fourth, potentially last game. Zero Tenacity has to win in the next game, which will be domination. But I mean, there were signs of life here, but just like moth to a flame, they just beat them to the punch. We talked about how we feared and revered the high-end NX, Torch, and Ultron combo, and this is exactly why they had to spend their cooldowns just for them to survive the onslaught or the barrage coming in from the sky. Then once there, you're met with JT3, and you're met with Ripasuko just holding strong. And man, JT3, my goodness, the pickoffs on his Meteor M were immaculate.
That shot from downtown, again, just absolute perfection coming in. Oh my gosh, yeah, Crazy Raccoon with one hell of a hold, just keeping Zero Tenacity at bay. And this is finally Crazy Raccoon's opportunity to, like we've talked about, the Ultron and the Torch combo that Crazy Raccoon have relied on throughout this entirety of Stage 2. And now they get to show it off here in playoffs. We're able to lock in that Ultron, and now Crazy Raccoon, they have shown Zero Tenacity what it's like to deal with that Ultron Torch combo, and now how do Zero Tenacity approach this next draft coming
What's
in?
scary is that I think that what Zero Tenacity did was they kind of awakened the sleeping giants of Crazy Raccoons, right? They kind of woken up the raccoons, and they're crazier than ever, folks. But we'll find out how crazy things can get as we head to the next map, which is Domination. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, it's going to be map number 4, so don't go away.
누워진 밤하늘을 가로질러 Oh yeah, oh yeah. 필요할 때 내가 널 지켜줄게 간절히 바라면 이루어지는 마법인 거야 운명의 소리 들려 여기서 저기서 날 찾으면 달빛이 날 비춰와 시작해야 let's go 어둡고 흘러는 우주 따뜻한 눈으로 감싸나 숨들 신비롭게 녹아내릴 거야 좀 더 기다려 I'll be there 쓰러지지 마 끝까지 일어나야 해 어딜 가든지 극복해 힘은 너에게 있는 걸 소리 높여 노래를 불러 작은 걱정 따윈 던지고 최선을 다해 자충을 쳐봐 어둠이 떠 날 때까지 아름다운 꿈을 밝혀봐 우리에게 달려서 그 세계 운명 어둠이 떠 날 때까지 세계 운명 오랜 시간 간직해온 열망 까만 밤의 빛처럼 빛나 네 눈앞에 바로 어떤 나라 탑을 딱 봐도 superstar 딱 보면 모르나 널 지킬 나란 걸 더 지켜볼수록 점점 빠져들어 카리스마 넘쳐 흘러 oh yeah 운명의 소리 들려 여기서 저기서 날 찾으면 달빛이 날 비춰와 시작이야 let's go 어둡고 흘러는 우주 따뜻한 눈으로 감싸나 숨들 신비롭게 녹아내릴 거야 좀 더 기다려 I'll be there 쓰러지지 마 끝까지 일어나야 해 어딜 가든지 극복해 힘은 너에게 있는 걸 소리 높여 노래를 불러 작은 걱정 따윈 던지고 최선을 다해 자충을 쳐봐 어둠이 떠 날 때까지 아름다운 꿈을 밝혀봐 우리에게 달려서 그 세계 운명 눈이 부신 모든 순간
And we are so back as Crazy Raccoon now at match point, while Zero Tenacity look to go back to the drawing board. They had to experience the Ultron Torch combination, but now Zero Tenacity have their map pick. We did make a little bit of an error there.
My bad.
They do have the freedom to choose any map they want as long as they have not played it. So no Hell's Heaven, no Yggdrasil, and no Central Park. And now look at the bottom of your screen. Zero Tenacity look for Araco as their next choice.
Interesting. So I'd say like this is one of the more chaotic convoy maps because there's a lot of portals, there's a lot of interesting plays, a lot of places you can kind of dump people in. But coming from Yggdrasil, which I feel like is kind of like a balance, or like you see a lot of just good plays. Here you can kind of cheese when it comes to like the placements and the snipe outs. Again, it's one of the newer maps since the first stage of Ignite. So it seems like Zero Tenacity are gonna defend their standings here, and they will defend to start things out in Araco. So I wonder how they're gonna approach these picks and bans, as the Vanguard bans really help them in pushes, right? So are they going to do the same end game type strategy to deny that from Crazy Raccoons? We're going to find out.
There's a chance to just suffocating Crazy Raccoon from any sort of options for the triple defense.
Ooh.
As a Zero Tenacity, they're doing it.
They heard it though. They lock in the Magneto. When they're like, we've seen this before. Let's lock in the Magneto. But look at that. Attacking the Vanguards once again. Taking out the Strange. Locking in the Emma. Making it a one-sided Emma. So the dives are going to be really strong, as well as the holds on the Zero Tenacity side, since they locked out the Emma. And they blocked and locked the Emma.
Oof. How does Zero Tenacity approach this? They do manage to take away the Strange. I think that's one of the more impactful Vanguards to take away.
Right.
If you're thinking ahead onto when
Overtime,
Crazy Raccoon look to defend.
That is
But
true.
Emma Frost also a very good ban out here. Emma Frost very, very strong here. There's a lot of big lanes here in Araco, so not having the option to control that long lane is going to probably hurt Crazy Raccoon. But we'll see how they adjust in the end, as right now, as it stands, Crazy Raccoon still have the option for the Ultron Torch.
They do. However, they are really just attacking all the Crazy Raccoons, at least. Taking out the Jeff now, combine that with the Mantis, Luna, and the Warlock. So when it comes to the triple strategists, you have the anchor of strategist of Invisible Woman, but you don't have Jeff, you don't have Mantis, you don't have Adam, so you do have an Ultron to work with if that's going to be allowed. And they're actually going to deny NX of his Ultron. So good denial there on the side of Zero Tenacity. They are holding first, so at least they took out really strong Vanguards in Strange and Emma.
Yeah, now what's the option coming in? It looks like NX thinking about the Star-Lord. We'll go for the Phoenix. Two options that are available for NX here. He is really the star player. If you're just tuning in, you gotta put all eyes are on NX right now to see if he's able to perform. But then again, Crazy Raccoon, they still have a very solid lineup here. I know JT3 was shining brightly in that third map.
Yeah, I'd say that NX is the striker, but you gotta give it up to JT3 with his impeccable defense. And Hyan also playing the tandem of them striking first and like having their eyes in the sky. And speaking of which, NX is kind of hovering onto that storm, which is going to be very dangerous to have. So especially in the first push in Araco, just buffing everyone and just setting up a really good angle in the sky, it could be tough. While Zero Tenacity is kind of going for that triple on the Vanguards and Strategist.
No surprises there, but a little bit of a surprise is Wendy still on that Loki, a pick that hasn't been very, very strong as of late here in Season 4. I know we talked about this here before, that his pick and ban rate has quite literally fallen off a cliff.
Yeah.
But now the push begins for Crazy Raccoon. Again, they need to go for 3 before they have to have on paper, a difficult hold on the second half of this map, but now BRB going to be burned, but NX still keeps that man advantage.
Yeah, taking 2 of the Vanguards, and just like that, Wendy unable to snap away from his clone. And just like that, the defensive hold is slowly crumbling. No Smite already switching to the Doctor Strange to make sure that they can still hold strong as the pickoffs are going to happen left and right. Zero Tenacity now. Have to be very careful as Rocco is marching his way down. Do see that No Smite just jumping on in there. Along with Kadia, just to hold the objective as much as they can.
Yeah, early portal coming in from Zero Tenacity here as the CYA, the Cosmic Yarn's going to be strung in for Zero Tenacity.
Whoa.
And Exy on the Rocket Raccoon, but a great shove from Dotori, taking out 2 of the strategists, Jerry and Kaidia, and Dotori as well will clean up house. And out of nowhere, a great shove coming in from the Invisible Woman.
I would say that was actually one of the starts for them to actually just take the foothold in this matchup. 2 of the strategists out with just a great shove on Dotori's side. So they want to keep Arako this far pushed out because they have to walk in.
There we go.
And now Sharknado could be in for Crazy Raccoon. There you have it, but look at that. We have Jerry trying to go for the dunk. Able to get no one, but able to actually keep everyone alive so far. Oh, but no Smite actually getting BRB'd. Oh, no BRB actually. So Exy.
No BRB available.
Yeah, unable to get it.
Yeah, Crazy Raccoon though. They are looking good yet again. The Meteor not quite landing the mark, but a great hook on to Wendy, but is able to snap away back in time. But Hyon sets his sights on Dotori instead as the rest of Crazy Raccoon falling to pieces now as Exy trying to dash away to the hills. But now look at this. Asuko putting up the wall just to zone away the rest of Zero Tenacity. Can they even make their way in? No portal available just yet.
Yeah, we still continue to push Arako towards the first checkpoint here. They're unable to get through the hallway as Zero Tenacity need to push and try to hold just to force out the overtime here as the clock is winding down to the final minute. Ult checks here. We do have a CYA, also an Eye of Agamotto to work with. Well, Crazy Raccoon now spends up the dance floor here on Seonghun's side.
Yeah, they quickly take care of the Cosmic Yarn, so no bonus HP coming in for Zero Tenacity, but no Smite comes in, but only stuns a tree. No one else as the rest of Crazy Raccoon look to come in. Sharknado is available for Crazy Raccoon, but Glostro goes down, but NX still able to find one. Can he find more as, oh my goodness, Jerry explodes as XC is able to bring back Dotori thanks to the BRB. Now Crazy Raccoon now in a bit of trouble as Kaidia with the Descientized Seduction just zoning the rest of Crazy Raccoon away. But for now, everything is looking good for Crazy Raccoon as they look to push in, but Kaidia is able to find Hyon. No Smite takes to the skies as he takes down Seonghun as a domino effect of ultimates coming in left and right.
Meteor M unable to get the dunk, but it is going to be a Zero Tenacity advantage here as they hold strong here. Hyon forced to go for the Psylocke to try and get some pickoffs here, but overtime meter is slowly whittling away and they're unable to claim points. So what a defense on Zero Tenacity's side. Able to actually just thwart any efforts for the Sharknado and also making Jerry explode there, but it's still all good because they got the triple going on. So we had the Emma, we had the Strange to hold strong while JT3 made his way back into the fray, and for them to deny any points from Crazy Raccoons here.
Now this is a much worse situation from what we saw in map number 2. Crazy Raccoon again. No Strange available. You see it right there on the middle of your screen. So if any of Crazy Raccoon goes down,
they have to walk all the way back.
It's gonna be, yeah, you gotta walk all the way back. It's not a short walk. You have a lot to go for, and without this portal, it's gonna probably cause so many problems as Zero Tenacity, they don't have to go very far.
Yeah, I think that's why they're opting to go for the Venom and Angela. They did get a lot of success when it came to Yggdrasil on that part, but this is a different map, and they don't have. I would have to say Zero Tenacity doesn't have to push that far. They just have to unlock a first checkpoint here. So there's a lot more room for error on Crazy Raccoon side since Zero Tenacity could just spawn close by and they have a Doctor Strange to work with.
Yeah. 4 minutes of barrage that is of Zero Tenacity. Can Crazy Raccoon hold? It'll be a miracle if they're able to do so. But
Match
they
point
have to play
versus survival
perfectly. Yeah. Now
XZ changing it up. It's not mandatory to go for Tuck season here, so we're not going to go with Wolverine. Just seeing if he could kidnap anyone. But right now, Lastro off in an angle here, just making sure that he could be a nuisance here. Not healing up, but trying to go for damage. And Kadia get caught in the crossfire there. And we get a kidnap onto the Storm. And JT3 making sure that no one's going to go unscathed here.
Yeah, JT3 on this Angela. We've seen him cancel so many key ultimates in map number 2, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to translate into a map win. But JT3 trying to do what he did best in map 2, and looks to be no exception here in map number 4.
Oh my
as
God.
Lastro finds Jerry.
Okay, Eternal Bond just for the push here, so no one's going to be on point, and we're able to teleport back. It's all good, but they got to deal with that Jeff. So that Eternal Bond was able to actually get them to push out, but JT3 with another kidnap, able to actually take out the Tori in the process, has his ultimate ready, can drop the heavens down to anyone, and they push just a little bit. 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock here. Zero Tenacity is going to have to work as they switch on over to the Punisher.
JT3 looking so flashy here, but the Omega Hurricane is going to be available and it will be used. But will Crazy Raccoon be able to hold off? It looks like the answer will be yes, as these Phantom Bolt Pearls will be used. But look at Crazy Raccoon. Everyone has their ultimates available as NX on the Magneto. A little bit of a surprise move there, but XZ with the final judgment. The screen be damned as XZ finds 2, but the Karmic Revival is going to nullify this Punisher ultimate as Jerry does find 1, but everyone of Crazy Raccoon comes back.
True. So now no more Karmic Revival. NX takes out Satori. They continue to clean up shop here. NX showing his Vanguard skills. So a trade-off, but a little bit of advantage. A step ahead is Crazy Raccoons as we whittle our way down to the 1 minute 30-second mark of this game. Karmic Revival is still at 20% mark here, but they do have an Eternal Bond to push here.
Yep, Eternal Bond available, like you said. Kaidia also with the Silent Seduction. This might be a crucial moment. Crazy Raccoon have yet to find an ultimate to counter a threat that is present in Zero Tenacity's belt. And they do it as JT3 gonna get shotgun to the face by XZ. Kaidia will follow up as well. And now things are looking dire. On the side of Crazy Raccoon, another.
Man, I love this summer skin, bro. That's such a fun
I know, it's so pretty, but Jerry is doing what he can to keep Crazy Raccoon at bay. They need to regroup, and look at this, Zero Tenacity halfway there, halfway to force a deciding game at number 5.
Oh my goodness, able to actually thwart the efforts of the kidnap here. Once a defensible is going to be online and you have the final judgment on the Punisher, it could be a really hard game for them to come back from. But Kadia gets the choke slam here. Couldn't get an elim. We're trying to focus our attention as we try to get the eliminate on the Ripasuko. Able to get the Kraken impact, Psionic Seduction, just for him to just deny any Karmic Revival. Uh-oh.
It's Jeff was used, but Jerry is just fighting, kicking, and screaming. The final judgment also going to be used. Crazy Raccoon, they're at their limit. They cannot hold this any longer, and it all looks inevitable. Can they hold? Asuko gets shoved away. Great shove, and that forces map number 5. Oh my gosh, what a series this is becoming.
Dan, we're only in game number 1. This is only series 1, bro. Oh, the Asia special. Overtime is regular time here. And Eggsy, the beautiful summer skin of that Punisher. Oh man, I should really cop this one. Just the shotgun blasts were so fun. But we called it, right? They had an amazing first hold. They're really good at convoy. They deny really good vanguards from Crazy Raccoon. They couldn't have the Strange. They don't have the Emma. And I think that's one of the domino effects that really played into Zero Tenacity's win condition, which is just getting 1 checkpoint unlocked. They switched on over. They had enough time to work with for them to be able to switch on over to the Punisher. Plus the Jerry Kraken impacts worked out so well, and they stuck with 2-2-2 to win this entire to win the map. So incredible stuff on Zero Tenacity side, and really pushing Crazy Raccoons to their limit. As we're gonna go to map number 5, Dan.
Can we get there in one piece? That is the big question.
Hey,
my gosh! All right,
it's the friends you make along the way, Dan. It's not about them.
Oh yeah. But now, Crazy Raccoon. This is their test. This is their breaking point. They have to win this, or they're going to get sent to the lower brackets surprisingly early for some people, I would say.
I mean, you could say the same for Zero Tenacity, right? Just the constant back and forth. But map advantage go to Crazy Raccoons. They can go domination. They played very well in domination. Or they can, I'd say just force out, don't do Convoy. Convoy seems to be the map of Zero Tenacity. So they're really good at once it starts, the picks and bans. And maybe they just need to force them out of their comfort zone in this matchup.
Yeah, now that the options have opened up again after map number 3, now that map number 4 is settled and Zero Tenacity did pick Convoy, we won't be seeing Convoy for the rest of the series. It has to be either domination or convergence. So, like you mentioned, it did seem like Convoy in particular was something that Zero Tenacity liked. Yes, they can still pick domination. It is still available, so they will be able to go for that option if they do so desire to. But now,
well,
things are starting to heat up a little bit here.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if we go back to the first domination we did see, Zero Tenacity did win one map in Hell's Haven. So maybe not domination, maybe go for like a more solid one. I mean, Dracula's castle was really good. They were able to hold so strong there in Crazy Raccoon's favor. But I'm sorry, I think I jinxed this because during the break I was like, yo, Dan, what are the odds that we're gonna go 2-2?
What if? What if?
What if? Marvel's what if? Marvel Arrivals what if, folks. This
good show, by the way.
I haven't seen it yet, so
this is really good.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
I love
the zombies, right? Okay, so we're gonna take a break because we got to set the stage for map number 5, folks. Don't go anywhere. More of Marvel Rivals Ignite when we come back.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. 필요할 때 내가 널 지켜줄게. 간절히 바라면 이루어지는 마법인 거야. 운명의 소리 들려. 여기서 저기서 날 찾으면 달빛이 날 비춰와. 시작해야 let's go. 어둡고 흘러는 우주 따뜻한 눈으로 감싸는 순간 신비롭게 녹아내릴 거야. 좀 더 기다려. 쓰러지지 마 끝까지 일어나야 해 어딜 가든지 극복해 힘은 너에게 있는 걸 소리 높여 노래를 불러 작은 걱정 따윈 던지고 최선을 다해 처음에 쳐봐 어둠이 떠 날 때까지 아름다운 꿈을 밝혀봐 우리에게 달려서 그 세계 운명 언제든지 극복해 힘은 너에게 있는 걸 소리 높여 노래를 불러 작은 걱정 따윈 던지고 최선을 다해 자충을 쳐봐 한도 믿어 내일까지 아름다운 꿈을 밝혀봐 우리에게 달려서 이 세계 운명 눈이 부신 모든 순간들 지켜내야 해 내가 좋아지려면 꿈꿨던 너와 나 그래들의 승리와 명예
Can you believe it, guys? We're already in map number 5 in this first best of 5. We have 4 best of 5s today, and this first one already going the distance. It's really setting the tone for the rest of the night here. As yeah, me and Dan,
Rest of the morning,
Dan,
I think, for
and
you.
Koch, yeah, we're gonna try our best to help you guys navigate through this cluster of a series.
We're in this
that's been so
together, chat. So if you guys are burning the midnight oil, or if it's like morning, whatever, good afternoon, night, we're here. We're in this. We're 100% with you guys. And what a way to start this out, right? We were talking about how the first match potential could go for best of 5, and what a test that Z10 is giving to CR. Okay, you had like the fastest games in the series, 2-0s. How about we go with the full BO5 here? That's what Z10's bringing to the table. So just seems like they're pulling out all the stops. And just when you thought a map was very dominant, like Central Park on CR's side, Z10 comes with a Rocco and just flips the script, and it's like, oh, we can also dominate. So I would say we're on an even keel here as these two teams battle it out to avoid the dreaded lower bracket. And we go domination.
Yeah, we're going domination. Krakoa will be the choice here for Crazy Raccoon. And then since it's domination, we won't see a map 6 in the best of 5.
That's true.
So we're good. We'll be fine. We'll be fine, guys. We won't have a grand final stage 1 scenario again.
Map 6
I hope
and
not.
BO5.
I mean, that was pretty sick.
You were watching on the sidelines, bro. You'll be the ones commentating it next. So
yeah, I'll be in the grand final. So we'll see if that ever does happen. But for now, we're thinking too far into the future.
Yeah, true. We gotta get past.
We'll ground ourselves here.
Yes,
we're at a do or die scenario here. Winner stays in the upper bracket. Loser goes down to the lower bracket. And both of these teams really don't want to be in that lower bracket situation
this early on, right?
This is going to be one of the most important domination maps these guys will ever play.
How poetic, right? We start things off with domination. We're going to end things off in domination. The question is, will it be a deja vu scenario for Crazy Raccoons, or did Zero Tenacity just have a diesel start? Like, all right, we give up map 1, we take map 2, and we just kind of prolong it all the way and just warm our way up here. And considering this is Krakoa, there are a lot of flyer potential, especially in the garden area and the cave area. The dance floor is very interesting because there's a lot of good points so you can pull and get good pushes off. So we just have to wait and see as we head on over. Domination Krakoa.
Final map in this best of 5 series.
We can say that with confidence, chat.
We can say it with confidence. Yes. Yeah, exactly. We don't have to. We're not lying
potential.
anymore.
We don't say potential. No.
We don't have to say potential. Nope.
Yep. Domination. Best of 3. No chance to tie in this game. We're gonna start things off with the picks and bans here. I wonder how Zero Tenacity is gonna approach this. Are they gonna go target ban NX, or are they just gonna copy, which is the banning out 2 Jeffs? Because that Lastro's Jeff is just so good.
Oh yeah, he has been an absolute monster on the Land Shark. And now, since it's domination, I think Crazy Raccoon made a good call here. They know that Zero Tenacity, if they did play on a convergence map, that was the only other available game mode. And the Zero Tenacity would have just gone the ban out every single Vanguard you can think of approach.
Ooh. So I like this.
Yeah. Now, it really puts them at even footing with Zero Tenacity now having to adjust their picks and bans. But then again, we saw this in map number 1. It's just going to be a list full of strategists.
Yeah.
If I were to assume.
It's looking like it. I thought they were going to go one-sided Mantis, but we pointed out from the beginning that they're very comfy having the Luna. At least they were able to ban out the Jeff. However, you have NX on the Ultron. So I wonder if that's going to respect ban a duelist taking out the Human Torch in their lineup. But that's still up for debate to see. And it seems like the respect of taking out Hyan is going to be strong enough for them to actually take out the Human Torch. So I like this. At least you're denying another really good flyer in this map, since Krakoa, high ceilings, you know, you get fresh air, but it's actually very prime for all the flyers to just run around.
I mean, Hyan still has other options. You still have the Storm available. JT3 very well could go for the Angela as well, but now it looks like Zero Tenacity now straying away from these strategist picks and bans, now moving on to the duelists, and will take the Star-Lord for themselves, and will just let XZ pilot that hero.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to go one-sided Star-Lord, but it really depends on the pick. They do actually ban out the Mantis, so no Mantis on both sides, so it won't get clutch lob sleeps from any of Zero Tenacity or Crazy Raccoon's players, but we're just have to wait and see on the last lock-in for the Zero Tenacity here. Might go for, wow, okay, they want to make it a duel of the Star-Lords, a dance-off to save the universe here, folks. 2 Star-Lords in one map is going to be kind of crazy. I thought they want to go safe and just try to save up a Vanguard, but no, this allows the Luna Snow to be banned out, so no fate of both worlds on the side of Crazy Raccoons.
I'm not judging.
Yeah, Dotori, or actually it might be Wendy, be piloting the Luna Snow this time around. Oh, this is an interesting setup here. Both teams gaining access to the Star-Lord. We'll see if XC decides to follow through with it. Jerry will play the Phoenix like we've all seen, but doesn't. So NX.
One thing I'm worried about here is they locked in the Star-Lord, right? Jerry is really good also as a duelist. Are they going to go 2-2-2 in this lineup, or will they actually go with the triple strategy, which Crazy Raccoon won with in Hell's Haven? So just the adjustments on the side of Zero Tenacity will be one we're going to look out for, because they did unfortunately lose the first domination map we did play.
Yeah, both teams using the Rocket BRB to get that extra HP going. NX is the one supplying on Crazy Raccoon's side. We'll switch over to the Star-Lord, but XZ doesn't opt to go for it. Instead, we'll just team up with Kaidia and No Smite to go for that dive composition with XZ on that Psylocke.
XZ did really well, but I think one of the banes of his performance in XZ, on his side with Psylocke was the Jeff that kept sniping him out from afar. So it seems like he will be able to actually provide some support here, but get spots out early with Hyan in the sky here. NX onto that Star-Lord, trying to get Kaidia.
Nice.
Able to actually snipe him out as he was trying to escape there.
Yeah, and a great chokehold onto No Smite. Takes him out before the bonus HP even comes in. And now it looks like Crazy Raccoon will finally take control, and they will take control immediately. And
yeah, so now they're pushing them back to their spawn. This is really good play. Zero Tenacity not switching it up just yet, but yeah, that's the risk when you run Angela. You need to not see her coming for him to be super effective. And in this area where especially you have eyes in the sky like Hyan, you have NX also flying around, it's really hard to set up your picks as Kaidia here. But we do get a dive here onto the back line. No Smite dangerously low here, has to fly on away here as Ripasuko chases him out.
Yeah, but there's a trade. XC for JT3, Vanguard for Duelist. But right now, Crazy Raccoon still in a commanding position here. Hyan on the Ultron instead of XC, who is on the Star-Lord. And has been absolutely cooking so far. And now XC makes the adjustment to go for the Star-Lord pick as the Rage of Ultron rains down onto Zero Tenacity. As XC trying to find something, but here comes the Galactic Legend. Whoa. Denied by Dotori's invisible boundary. Can Zero Tenacity find a footing here, though? 60% already on Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah, they're fighting away from that point, and it's way past the 50% mark. Jerry does have that end song to work with, but can't pair it up with anything. Kaidia dangerously low. Ripasuko trying to take out Eggsy, who is in the sky. So when it comes down to output, no smite taking out NX before anyone's able to get the save onto the dive, but the invisibility. Uh-oh. We have Sunwoo.
Here we go. Sunwoo with the Karmic Revival brings back NX back into the fight. JT3, the hero of map number 3, now comes back with a vengeance. Is able to find a double. Sunwoo will clean up the third. And now Crazy Raccoon. Looks like Zero Tenacity though are able to trigger the overtime meter, but can they even get there in time? The timer's running short, and they're not able to get it in time. And Crazy Raccoon shuts out Zero Tenacity in this first round. One more round seals an upper bracket spot.
Survival point here for Zero Tenacity, push for that map number 3, but Crazy Raccoon is looking down a pass to stay in the upper bracket. Something I gotta point out is the survivability of everyone in Crazy Raccoon's side, because they are running, they were surviving for so long, and they're able to do that with the Warlock, with the Ultron, and the Invisible Woman. So I wonder if Zero Tenacity is gonna change things up, because they got sniped out early, and they only have 2 strategists to keep them alive.
Yeah, Zero Tenacity just looked like they didn't have any sort of ground to work with. And yeah, Zero Tenacity are looking for all the adjustments they can. Eggsy now on the Phoenix.
2, 1.
Will this be worth it in the end? We have yet to find out here in round number 2. Crazy Raccoon have a chance to end it here. Or will Zero Tenacity force us to go all the way?
We do see that Eggsy has switched things up as well. Jerry's still sticking to that Phoenix, but NX just going on ahead, scouting ahead, just to bait any sort of activity here. Eggsy needs to be godlike. We haven't seen Hela in a hot minute here, but he's already at 60% for that Goddess of Death to work with. And Hyan has already had that rage build up just for them to dominate the point to start things out. So it seems like same story here in map number 2. Crazy Raccoon winning that first takeover of the site, but can Zero Tenacity come in here with the invisible boundary?
Oh, the Meteor M going to be used as well, just to keep the rest of Crazy Raccoon from taking any more damage, as Jerry providing so much area of effect. But now everyone on Zero Tenacity trying to pile on in, but the ultimate economy from Crazy Raccoon is just too valuable here, as NX rips apart Zero Tenacity. Something that he's done before to other teams, and now Zero Tenacity have to experience it here in a do-or-die scenario.
It was looking really good for Zero Tenacity's side, but man, NX was that difference maker, just to clean up shop when the dust settled and all the ultimates. Eggsy does have his Goddess of Death. We do have also Meteor M to work with, but damn, they gotta walk down to the site first to just contest, because now we're at 50%, and now the pressure is definitely on for Zero Tenacity to take over the site.
Yeah, this right now looks like their only chance to come back into this fight. Crazy Raccoon, they know where Zero Tenacity are. Everyone piling into the high ground as Hyan snipes down Jerry. And Asuko holding down the fort on the site. Kaidi is taken away as Asuko just chasing down No Smite, and Crazy Raccoon hold yet again. Karmic Revival now available onto Sunwoo, so this fight is going to be so much more difficult on Zero Tenacity. Teleport is available, but they're not going to use it just yet.
Yeah, Ripasuko also has the Psionic Seduction ready as we use it, but they're not even contesting the site. We're at 90%. It's getting dangerously close for Zero Tenacity.
Gotta go.
Crazy Raccoon just needs to hold here as they try to push forward here at 100%. They hold and hold the overtime, but NX is here just for the backline.
Oh, NX!
Forcing it. Oh man, try to go for that with that soul siphon, but now Jerry tries to trade things out. Wendy now forced to go for the dance floor here as they go for the Karmic Revival.
So much action happening as another trade coming in. Sunwoo with the Karmic Revival will deny a trade as this overtime meter runs thinner and thinner. So is Zero Tenacity's chances at taking this map number 5 as NX in the back line just ripping away rains down hell as Zero Tenacity. There is nothing left in them. As Crazy Raccoon, we go all the way. We need all the maps. But Crazy Raccoon will move on to the upper bracket.
They just show that they're kings of domination here. It seemed like there was a bit of signs of life in that first map, but once they were able to continue on here, they chose this map in particular for them to be able to get the victory here. And I was, like the game mode says, that was complete domination there. 100% for 100%, which makes me also kind of go back to the picks of Zero Tenacity. They were still forcing the 2-2-2 while you have a really good duelist in NX ripping out your backline, which is only 2. They can play patty kick all they want, but there's no sustain in the front line, which that was the keys to victory of how Crazy Raccoons played this. Not to mention also Hyan as well as Seonghun just keeping everyone alive, and also Hyan with the amazing pickoffs before they could even touch the mission area.
Yeah, I feel like this in this round in particular, the Crazy Raccoon just ended fights before it even started. Zero Tenacity just had no room to work with. And like you said, these early picks coming in, like Hyan snipe onto Jerry that one time, and so many other opportunities, especially with NX also picking off XZ on the side, winning that crucial 1 versus 1. Just
I was actually surprised.
I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that XZ switched on over to the Hella. I thought he'd actually kind of force the 1v1s with NX to have the Star-Lord happening. So, yeah, it's an incredible back and forth. But man, that last map was just, I think, more confidence on Crazy Raccoon's side. They were able to actually force them to a best of 5, but end of the day, they still remain on top and they still remain in the upper bracket, while Zero Tenacity, I mean, we have to give them a little bit of the flowers here because they gave us such amazing games, but hopefully they survived, fight another day. They will fight another day in the lower bracket side. Stakes will be a lot higher though, so we just have to wait and see who will be facing Zero Tenacity.
We have yet to wait and see. That's going to be decided on our next best of 5. Finally, we are able to settle the first best of 5 with Crazy Raccoon up against Zero Tenacity. It took us a while.
We got there.
5.
We got there, chat.
We did it. We did it. We got there. 3 more to go. We got this.
First checkpoint unlocked. We got this, guys. We can keep pushing. There you have it. There's the scoreline, 3-2 in favor of Crazy Raccoons. We're gonna talk to one of the Crazy Raccoons themselves, possibly gonna be NX. So I'm excited to pick his brain a little bit because that was one of the most intense sets we have seen since it did go the best of 5. But in maps where they dominated, they completely dominated, but it just kept swinging back and forth. Like one time Z10 was able to dominate, then Crazy Raccoon. So just an ebb and flow of a great game.
Yeah, I've like you said exactly. Like the ebb and flow on the series, it looked very even. Like Crazy Raccoon winning 1, then Z10 claps back, then you know back and forth. But every single one of those maps, it just felt like it wasn't close. But then again, Crazy Raccoons were finally able to close out in the end. And speaking of which, we are going to interview a player. You've seen him before, and we get to see him again. It's going to be none other than NX, the star of the show here on Crazy Raccoons.
So let's get to it, chat. There he is.
Oh, hello. There he
NX.
is.
Hello. First off, congratulations on an intense best of 5, all the way till best of 5. Coming from just 2 zeros to now full best of 5s, how's the team feeling after they secure at least the upper bracket in the playoffs for now?
If anything, we're more stressed because, you know, this is not a match we thought would go this far, and I think we we got a lot to work on.
Okay. Dan?
Yeah, I know coming into this match, you did have a whole week off. I know the entirety of Asia did have that week off. Did you guys work on anything during that break? Because 1 week is a long time between these kind of
Without
matches.
revealing too much, of course, because we want.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
We did work on that Angela Venom composition, but it sadly didn't work too well.
Let's talk about that because you said that this matchup wasn't intended to go the best of 5. What were you expecting, and what did you expect in this matchup?
Honestly, we just expected to, keep our undefeated streak going. We wanted a 3-0. That was our goal, but it ended up being a very difficult. A lot of individual mistakes.
Okay, got it. But hey, you still continue on to amaze us. Dan, any follow-ups?
Oh, I think we're good. Also, again, congratulations on the win. I know it's late over there for you,
Yeah.
so get that well-deserved rest.
One thing I
but-
do want to say is, NX, do you have any shout-outs or any message you want to give people that are watching right now? Because they're going crazy for you in chat.
I got nothing to say. I'll keep trying my best.
All right. We can't wait to see your best. Congratulations again and still securing that top spot here at the upper bracket. Can't wait to see you perform tomorrow. Have a good night's rest, man. Thank you.
Goodbye.
There
And
you
that
have it.
is none other than NX, again, the star player on Crazy Raccoon, making the difference here on the roster. And now they are making their way through into the upper bracket, whereas 0